Futures back in negative territory this morning, coming off that impressive rally we saw late in the session yesterday, reversing early sharp declines as focus now shifts towards the Fed. Two-day meeting for the Federal Reserve gets underway today. We'll get the decision on interest rates tomorrow. CME Group now forecasting a 94.4% chance of a quarter point increase coming up tomorrow. So we'll talk about that coming up. Yesterday, what a move. We saw back to the upside for markets. The Dow ends the day up 99 points after being down sharply to start. The S&P 500 finishing higher by 0.3%, and the NASDAQ led the way 0.6%. You got to go back a long way to find the last rally back from such a steep decline that we saw yesterday early in the day. 2008. In fact, the last time the market was down more than 4%, the NASDAQ specifically was down 4% and ended the session in positive territory. Speaking of the NASDAQ, we'll have a look at NVIDIA this morning. Bloomberg reporting that they're quietly preparing to back away from that ARM deal entirely. IBM reports, J&J reports, 3M, GE all out this morning with earnings. Not a lot of action in any of them. We'll talk about that coming up. And tech shares going to be back in focus as well after leading that market rally, as I said, that we saw late in the day yesterday. It's Tuesday, January 25th, 2022. TraderTV.live starts now. Yeah, there we go. More negative numbers to deal with this morning. I mean, coming off that rally late in the day yesterday, we're gapping down, yes, but I think perspective is needed here. 2.3% right now for the NASDAQ leading the way. 1.7 for the S&P, the Dow about 0.8 right now. Yeah, more negativity for cryptocurrencies as well. Remember, they also had a big bounce late in the day yesterday, 1% for both Bitcoin and Ethereum, bottom end of the board there. It is the first day, good morning guys, of a two-day Fed meeting. We'll get the decision on interest rates, as I said, coming up tomorrow, 2 p.m. Make sure you are here because it's going to be a very important day, I think, as we head into what could be a little bit of volatility here. As I said, CME Group now saying 94.4% chance we get a quarter point hike tomorrow.
Yeah, how quickly things change, right? So there you go. I mean, yesterday was about as entertaining as you're going to get in terms of the market making some moves. Like, so welcome, buckle up. You've got even more. Like, if yesterday's action, that massive reversal, and of course, since 2008, you get the best reversal days in those crazy downward markets. But yeah, and then we still get all the earnings coming through, I guess the bigger earnings coming through, I should say. And we got the Fed as well still to come, led off by Microsoft after market tonight. And then a rate hike as early as tomorrow, which, I mean, as recently as last week, that was like a coin flip. And now all the way up to like 94% is being indicated. So, you know, the 4 or plus hikes certainly are oncoming. You can kind of see that the markets are giving back some of that rally. And I don't think that's going to change much of the approach for some of these names today. It's like, you know, short the overvalued stuff when it tries to pop in the morning. And then, you know, if we do get another flush, I mean, some of those bottoms put in yesterday, you've got to think that there might be some support levels just because those wicks were insane on a host of names. So there should be a lot to look forward to for active trading in here today. Lots on the move already.
I think you can even look at something like AMC as well. I mean, there's tons of stuff happening here today. We're very, very excited to be with you one more time. And yeah, Fed should be interesting. Microsoft to me is more interesting because they're going to really lead, you know, the rest of this big cap tech. So I have AMC up right now. Microsoft yesterday was 270. 8 or 4 was the bottom here yesterday for Softy. So, I mean, what a great move back up. This is the daily chart. You touched the 200 period here for Microsoft. They're coming in. Yeah, yesterday we had 276 or so print, it looks like. I was right in the middle there. So, yeah, it should be a violent day again today. I'm going to assume a nice little pullback upside here for Softy back up to 300. And now today you're at 290. So I was looking at that 290 level as a possible breaking spot to go short if we do take out 290 right here, the pre-market bottom. We will look to go short a name finally here today. But I'm just ready to sort of let the market fall down. And then, like yesterday, pounce on some of those bids, right? Like we hit PayPal for $4 or $5. We had AMD for $4 or $5 long. We had Coinbase with a great short yesterday initially off of some crypto worries, and crypto bounced back. Thank God right now, Bitcoin back to 36, Ethereum back to 24. Still about 10% down from some of those key levels of 40 grand, but you can see Coinbase battled really nicely. We were short right up in here, I had no idea why Coinbase rallied early on yesterday, so we'll see if we can find some sort of mistakes like that as well. Our biggest mistake is, of course, getting out in this clutter around 174 off of the 178 short before absolutely collapsing, and then every single stock rebounded like mad yesterday afternoon. So I think a little bit of false tops here, too much of a rally there, so a lot of these names looking to fall back in. Coinbase, because there's not much happening in crypto right now, probably not looking at it, but names like SoFi with a huge move yesterday, Brendan, off some of those bottoms, 12 bottom, even lower than that yesterday, 1180. I mean, we didn't think we would see those again, and then a big rally back up to 13. So some of these names, man, big time rallies, and they're kind of halfway back. The name I'm looking at specifically today to do some damage to the short side is DraftKings. I feel like this is a completely broken stock at this point. I don't really like anything that they have going for them. So we'll see if DraftKings holds this 1880 level. But we'll get on to names here. It's still 54 minutes, guys, until the market opens. So anything could happen. And the funny thing is, because of the market, I feel like the Fed was so hawkish, and now it's going to maybe turn a little bit dovish just because of the market. But I know that's not their mandate. It's just, who knows? It's going to be very, very interesting what comes from these meetings. We'll hear about it in a couple weeks from the Fed minutes, but we will get that quarter point tomorrow for sure.
Yep, we'll keep an eye on anything further that develops along that line as well. Just reading through that, MindMed getting an FDA nod this morning. So MNMD back to $1 here as we head towards the open. Before we go any further, Ms. V is here. We'll help you out in the chat once again this morning. Good morning.
Good morning, team. Happy trading to you all. It's going to be an interesting day, and I wish you all the luck. Please don't forget to like this video, and let's get it started, Brendan.
Yeah, let's get it started, guys. Lots to go through here as we head towards the open. As we said, wanted to mention NVIDIA right off the top here. Not sure, how much of concern or how much of a story this is even going to be, but if you missed it, Bloomberg reporting overnight that they are quietly preparing to back away from this deal for ARM, which is going to come with a price tag, obviously. But this is a much talked about, much anticipated deal for NVIDIA. But there's always going to be that antitrust and always going to be some opposition, I guess, to this thing getting approved. So maybe they know that it's not going to in the end for NVIDIA.
It feels that way. It was always less likely to get done than the Xilinx deal. I think a lot of people were saying that, and ARM at this point, even if this deal doesn't happen, there's always been speculation that ARM's just going to get taken public via an IPO. That's what happened. That's what ended up happening with GlobalFoundries Intel, right? Although that never even got off the ground. But in this case, there is a breakup fee associated with it, but at this point, I'm sure NVIDIA's assumed they were going to be paying that one out. I think it's over $1 billion. But it was a massive deal anyway. So that's actually, that's like a third, I think, of the Microsoft breakup deal recently. And I think realistically, this might seem like bad news, but I feel as if there was enough people that were betting that this was not going to happen, that ultimately rates are going to matter a little heck of a lot more. The direction that tech takes this week and valuations probably going to matter more than this deal. NVIDIA here had put on just an absolute gigantic rally. So I was kind of hoping we'd be seeing that 235. I think the market gapping down 2% didn't help, but it is leading the way. Well, not leading the way, but it is about twice as much to the downside as the market. So as much as I think the writing was on the wall here, obviously it's catching a little bit more negativity relative to the overall market because this deal isn't going through, and maybe it's because of the breakup fee. It doesn't seem all that shocking to me. That $200 level, if we see it again, or anywhere close to it, I think that's going to stand out for a bounce. And I was kind of hoping we'd be playing off of 235 here today. But this news seems to have blown that out of the water. Again, not a huge surprise, but the market's treating it as some kind of bad news for NVIDIA. They can move on now.
You know what's funny? ATVI, the luckiest shareholders in the market right now are ATVI, because imagine if they never got bought out or, that offer to buy them out. Again, I think it goes through. I don't think there's going to be too much, antitrust about this one. But ATVI would be like $40 today, probably. If they didn't get that buyout, to be honest with you. I mean, where would have they gone to yesterday, right? Everything else took out lows, 56, 57, 58. So, I mean, ATVI would be so low. So I'm actually wondering if Microsoft, I mean, I don't know what the breakup fee is for this deal, but maybe they just say no thank you, let Activision fall to like $35, and then pick it up for 50 instead of 90. That's what I would do if I was Microsoft. Honestly, I would say no thank you. And I just thought about this right now because you said about the ARM deal. ARM is, of course, SoftBank, SFTBY. They own ARM, or big, huge division of it. They are going to spin this off now. It looks like SoftBank has been an actual... Oh, no, we're not going to get, anyway, SoftBank hasn't done anything. The charts actually looks pretty good, SFTBY. If you want to get into something here, look at their daily chart. It's absolutely not moving at all here, SoftBank, between 22 and $25. So I don't know if you want to get into that. I mean, they made some mistakes with We, not We, that's the We charity. What's the 9984? No. That rental company, or they rent a space that SoftBank screwed up. They just came public.
I know what you're talking about.
What the name is there. Where you rent office space, Brendan.
For the love
of God. I have family that work there, and I can't even think of
WeWork.
WeWork. I kept saying
honestly,
if we didn't
come up with that one, I'd be like slapping myself in front of you. Like that's every now and then, the old brain. I don't know.
I said we, and I thought about the charity here.
That's
why I was like, because we had done work with them, and then all of a sudden now, here you go, WeWork right now. So this is what I was talking about with SoftBank. $12.50 for WeWork comes out, and then now you're all the way down to $7.50 again. So this is another name here that you could definitely look at if you were interested. But WeWork down here to $7.50 on SoftBank, but there's no volume. There's only 208 shares. Lots of value here today, guys, needless to say, but that ARM deal reminds me of what Microsoft should do, and I just thought of it. I mean, I don't know if that's something that they could do, but that might not be a bad idea. Save that $90 billion, Brendan.
I mean, we keep talking about Peloton in those terms as well. I mean, maybe there's more to go for PTON. Let's go to vaccines here for a second, because Pfizer and BioNTech out this morning saying they have already begun clinical trials on their Omicron-specific vaccine for COVID-19. That caused a little bit of a spike on PFE here, back to basically where we ended the day, 5160 yesterday. There we go. The study for that is underway. I mean, we said, a week ago on this show, by the time this happens and gets out to the public, we might be on to 2.0 or 3.0 by that time.
Yeah, I mean... Exactly, and I think a lot of what's coming for the vaccine is probably baked into the stock. Now, like I said, I think the pill's probably their game changer in terms of differentiating themselves from the rest of the group. We tried Pfizer on some relative strength, and there was that breakout at the open. It got to that 51, it tried to get to 52. We bought the dip and got some good scalp trades. And then, like everything else, it just rolled over. But guess what? We're right back pretty much at the same levels with some support right around that 51-ish area that it was dipping into before. And it's still trying to break out at that 52 level. But I'll note, like the secondary pushes, and like after the first move, got you to that 75, like 51.75. And that's exactly where it recovered to late in the session yesterday. So I think you're going to run into some resistance quarters to 52. If it can break through that, there's a bit of a gap to be filled on Pfizer. So maybe it wants to try to trade up on these news. I'm leaning into the notion that the best way to approach longs right now is not to be liking the breakouts. So that's what steps me away from wanting to have that at the open, because if things pop, there's a bunch of names that I think it's like short to pop and then try to chase lows after. So if it's going to have a strong day, I feel like going back to the well to try and catch some dips, even though it was a muted success yesterday, I still think that's kind of the way to go in these markets, especially with so much more coming throughout the week. And like I said, like there were times on that headline where you'd be green on, like Pfizer would be up and maybe challenging some levels for a rollover short. I don't know that it's necessarily giving me that look because it's flat on the day. And, like we said, there's just so many bigger, more volatile fish to fry. I do like that level on 52. If it looks super strong and we're just consolidating here for a break, scalping it to 52.50 isn't the end of the world, but that's not one I want to have at 9:30. At 9:30, I want to be looking for specifically that pop and fade on some other names.
I'm just responding to everybody on Twitter. Thank you so much, guys. Lots of love for the sticky note today and what it says at the end of the Microsoft one. And thank you. Actually, here, let me just close this to you so I can show you. I'll just discard this. I was just responding. Someone asked me about Peloton on the sticky note. But and I'm just responding to everybody here. 23 retweets, a bunch of likes, quotes, everything. This says Pounce. So earnings tonight expect to be good, but should still fall through 290 Microsoft. So we're going to watch to see that. Wait for a bottom and then get ready to pounce. I really think Microsoft does have that big chance today, but here it is. Thank you so much. We have DraftKings, Palantir, and in the bottom we have a little bit of AMC action right now. As I'll put this in the chat, you guys can try to send me some questions right now. I will deal with those on our sticky note here. So have a look at that. If you want to ask me anything, please do that, and I'll try to get back to you guys on Twitter temporarily here. But we have a bunch of names to get to. I don't know, so why didn't this change to Microsoft? There it is. Yeah, we're just looking at that 290 level, guys. So they're going to report tonight. We're going to find out what comes through. But I leaked that 290 on a dip, and then we watch this 50-period moving average, see when it gets a little bullish down here, cross it up, and then hit this for the long. So we'll see. The market may not even fall, man. I mean, the market's down 2%, starting to get a little bit of a base. Some stocks here starting to base out as well. So this is not going to be an easy trade today, I feel like. Not like yesterday. Yesterday, I mean, the direction was so southbound. It just kept going like a train wreck. As soon as it broke these levels, most stocks just kept going down until we finally bottomed. Some of the bottoms were about 10:30. Microsoft's happens to be at 12:30. So we'll see what happens. Actually, yesterday, most of them were 12:30, sorry. It was the day before was 10:30. So we'll see what happens here today. Still looking at maybe a 286 level for Microsoft, but still very, very excited for this trade today. I think, you know, you got to be very specific on your names, especially when the market is like this. I don't want to even be trading like 7 or 8, 9 names today. I think you got to stick with what's on the sticky note, stick what's on your note, stick what's on, you know, our watch list. Look for key names. You don't need to be trading tons of things today. It's going to be a volatile market with lots of opportunities, even if you stick with one name.
We mentioned a bunch of names that reported there in the pre-market. A few of them, you know, worth a mention here, guys. AXP, one of those. So AXP not really doing much, but they reported. Verizon reported. J&J reported. GE as well. I was just noting General Electric, the call is on right now. So some comments just coming out for this one, now down 5.2%. We did bounce off that prior low on the daily chart already on the initial flush. But anyone watching General Electric here, it was the revenue that was the problem. But the earnings call on right now for GE.
Sure what they're saying on the call. When you said not doing anything for AXP, American Express, obviously volume's not fantastic, but it is up 3%. You know, their report coming in a lot better being received, I guess, than General Electric's. And always be very cautious trading during calls. I don't think I was seeing a ton of volume on GE to begin with, so let alone during a call in the pre-market. You might want to lay off on making some trades there. But American Express basically ran right on the print. It ran right up to the 50-period moving average, which is also like yesterday's top. So you get right up to this 165, 166 area. But then the volume's not here, and the spread's still opening up because it's pre-market. So I'd like to see it break in that 166, and then that would show a sign of strength. Be nice if we consolidate up there, but there's not really too much you can take from the trade action when the volume is this low. But it has put in at least a decent base after yesterday's action. You know, you get that wick bottom, and you think maybe you can hold up at a 160 level. And again, good solid name, and probably one of the safer places that you can be in. But on the flip end of that coin, you know, I'm not. You know, I look at General Electric here, and you kind of see it. It's been all over the place this morning. It's done $5 up. It's come $5 down. Now down about 5%. So this is going to be a heck of a lot more volatile, I think, than it usually is. And my first thought was, okay, well, we're not liking that revenue number. Look at that 50 period and look at this double top at 97. But you know, that was when we were trading up here in the pre-market, and it really seemed like we were going to get a chance to test a level like this. At this point, we just drifted $5 on low volume to the downside, which throws that out the window. Like it's something that either setting up and makes sense or it's not. And if this claws back $5, I might change my opinion about how much I like that level. It looked pretty solid for a rollover short because you were so tight to resistance. And now you've basically already run away from it. There was just no volume to actually take that trade.
Like yesterday when we did the earnings report, the name that I said that I was most excited about was AXP, and it's just a name that I haven't been into. It's a name that I wanted to get into. It's just, I just put in the chat there. It was just too risky to take anything pre-earnings. Now you're going to get AXP coming through. This is going to be the winner in the financial sector. We talked about that. I think the reopen AXP is going to be stronger. It's a high net worth clientele. When they travel, it's a business credit card. So I think AXP continues to work, man. Going out for food, going out dining, like I said, business expenses, Ubers, things like that. American Express crushes that game. And it's just, as the world reopens, this is the name that I like. And, getting into digitization as well. They're just a couple announcements away from, crypto news, things like that. Like, I just really think instead of dealing with, SoFis of the world and names like that, you can hop into an AXP right now at this valuation. You get the name brand, you get what's going on, the forward PE. It's only 16. Like 16 PE multiple for a financial is not too bad. It's obviously a little heavier than normal, but as opposed to, let me see what MasterCard's is right now. I really just like MasterCard's is 33, for example. So with MasterCard forward-looking PE, 33, current PE on MasterCard, 43. So, I mean, you want to talk about a name that could pull back, that has a lot more room to pull back down. It's going to be MasterCard, not AXP, not Visa. Visa as well as MasterCard. So I really like American Express here. I think this name continues to work. And if it was a slower day in the market, this would be screaming on my radar. But right now, we're going to just let it be. But AXP continues to be a winner. And again, good idea yesterday, if you were listening at all. I think that's a name that, a little safer there. I felt much better about AXP than I did about any banks. I was calling the tops in banks. That seemed to be right. But AXP continues to work here in this environment, and I think it heads higher.
Yeah, interesting to see the, lack of volume in that stock so far off of the report. Here we go. Upgrades and downgrades for today, guys. We'll talk about IBM here. Decent report for them. Nike on here, Delta, and Snowflake at the bottom end of the board here. Still down on the day, worth noting there. Shopify with, crazy move back higher yesterday, late in the day. PayPal, Marathon, American Airlines as well to the downside.
Yeah, Shopify's move, it was like Shopify, Etsy, and Pinterest. Of the three, I think one of them went too far. We talked about this, and I just think Pinterest went really far. But Shopify put in a monster run. And I would look back at it, clawing back almost, not just the morning, but also Friday's move to the downside. But if you pull up a chart, like this is exactly what Pinterest chart looks like. But Etsy actually got all the way back to its level. It got to a 160 print, whereas Shopify couldn't quite get to that 1,000 mark. I am looking at here in the US. I know usually I pull it up in Toronto, but now you're right back down that 4%. And the pullback in the afternoon, came right to this like 890 level. I'm going to be staring like 1,000 in the face if we ever get a chance to trade off 1,000. I think it might be an opportunity there on Shopify. But you're right at this 890 level. That would be a key rollover for a shop. But my sights are on Pinterest. If I'm picking a chart with this setup to play weakness back in, those three names, it's pins 100%. So I want to be shorting this one in front of that drop off on Friday. It had that 31.25 level. It also sets up for a bit of a 30 break, although light volume already broke some. And the spread is opening up here, so I wouldn't want to take a break unless it was after the open. But I want to trade the pop and fade on Pinterest here. If I had to pick a related name that had the almost outsized rally, if you look at Shop, pins like the names we're just talking about there, their bounce off the bottom, erased a couple of days worth of downside, whereas a lot of other names just came right back to yesterday's tops and slightly broke out. Those really broke back out in a big way, and it just feels like if we're getting the rate hike tomorrow, that's got to be too much, and they might be some profit takers this morning.
Look, I've always called Snowflake baby Palantir, and if you like data management, acquisition, things like that. I mean, Palantir is a great name. It dipped, Snowflake's a great name with Palantir. It dipped into this 240 area yesterday, which would have been huge to buy into that area. 240 is monstrous. The bottom there, 190. This is what I missed. I missed going long here on Snowflake. We went long off this 250 or 248 break, something like that at the time. I think it was somewhere. I think it might have been right here, 248.50, something like that. It ripped all the way to 400. Snowflake's been a big winner for us, and then it dips below. We were able to get some out here. We talked about that. 360, 370. Now it's dipping back in. I prefer Palantir than Snowflake, but again, if we like this space, data management is here, and we'll wait to see where it goes. But Snowflake on an upgrade, it's still well below the 200 period. It's still way, way overvalued. So very similar to Palantir. I mean, these companies aren't making money. You got to say, ooh, back up over 13. Okay, Palantir, I see you. That's nice. Still down 3%, but a nice rally back for Palantir. I mean, they touched 1180 yesterday, which was crazy. We did do okay on some of the longs from, oh no, actually we missed the long on Palantir yesterday. But again, look at this move right back to the upside. We were caught shorting in here thinking that this high wasn't going to hold. But look, 1340, we're kind of holding. So I don't mind looking at Palantir, but again, I'm expecting a little bit of a flush to come through here. Palantir should get to go, especially if Snowflake does get that upgrade. They're a couple upgrades away as well. Palantir has so many contracts. And look, it's a long-term hold. I mean, we've talked about these names. When I came back from vacation in October. That when I was there on vacation, reading about the Fed, reading about Omicron, things like that. This is when it was first started back in November, U.S. Thanksgiving. And it was just like some of these names just needed to be, trimmed a little bit. Like you're talking about U.S. Thanksgiving, you're right into here, 21, 22 bucks. Then it started to break down, and then we started to look for value stocks instead of high valuation stocks, right? So this is not a value stock. It will become one, obviously. It's right near, it's like IPO prices of 9, 10 bucks. I like Palantir for the long haul, and I think you got to have that attitude with a lot of these names right now. There are going to be opportunities to pick these names up even lower, but I think for starting to nibble, I bought more yesterday at 12.05. So let's see where we go from here. But Palantir, I still think is a winner. Snowflake upgraded, so I like it.
Just looking at some of the few people talking about the EV group here, guys. Tesla back above 900. Elon's going to eat a Happy Meal or something on McDonald's if they start accepting Dogecoin. That was really it for Tesla today. But this one, Lucid, looking pretty strong as well. Popped above 37. We also had AMC just pop above VWAP there. There was a note on AMC regarding this deal. Strong MDI. They signed a deal to install some screens, I guess, in their theaters for AMC. Not a huge headline, but some of the EV names starting to look a little bit better here.
Yeah, Lucid was one that was, it was on the verge of breaking out last night, man. It just, I don't know, it got so close. I like 38, I like 38 a quarter. We're sitting there in the after show, pretty much all afternoon, looking to see if it could take out that double top at 38 even. So I'm going to play this both directions at same level. We said we liked it. I like the Fisker $12 area. That's gotten away from it a little bit. But if we pop in here to about 38 even, I'm already sitting in front of that 37.80-ish. And then if it breaks out the quarters, just get out and I think reverse into a long on Lucid. Just given how strong it was in that comeback and then giving that consolidation. If it does the same consolidation here, I'll give it a chance to pull back in. I think, as a day trader, play in both directions, I don't mind it. But then if we can break back out, just feels like from there to 40 it's not that it's an easy shot. It's just I think it's a solid shot because you can probably do like a 3 to 5 to 1 risk to reward on that potential breakout. So I like this level in Lucid. That's the one I'm going to be playing here today. I haven't looked at Rivian in a while, which for whatever reason, but Lucid just seems like it has the better setups and the better levels, and I'll definitely be watching this. Another name that reported, which isn't usually a day trade, but was on our board yesterday, and we briefly mentioned it because of defense, is going to be Lockheed. Not doing any volume pre-market, but they are up on a beat. And if there's any weakness in that name, I might look to see where I can bottom pick on Lockheed today. But it does so little pre-market volume. As a day trade, you really want that to open back up.
Yeah, watch out for. I mean, Bitcoin's not moving. I saw someone just put 18.2.
What?
Lady Elvina. No, just a prediction. I
Oh.
don't think it's far off. I mean, it could get down to 20,000 for Bitcoin. Okay, so Rivian, we're not able to short it, but we'll see where it goes here. Rivian, I think is at a great level of $60. We cracked that yesterday. We touched down to $55. We bounced off 60 again here yesterday in the afternoon before heading higher to 64. So I mean, this looks a little sloppier than many. So I don't believe this is going to have the legs to continue to move higher. I don't see why anyone would buy an EV stock at these levels right now, unless you're buying Tesla and just hoping that it starts to spike up. I know Rivian has, some nice trucks. They've won some awards, and I like what they're going to be providing to the market. But the EV space is only so big right now. Ford is going to eat everybody's lunch in this space anyways at some point. Ford and GM starting to produce, all the big guys starting to produce. And I just think that Rivian's going to be a niche market, which is great. I think, they have Amazon to back them. I think that Amazon should buy 100,000 trucks themselves to get on the road, right? And so I think that that'll help out Rivian. But until that day comes, I think it's a short until it's not. And honestly, I just think we need to get better news for Rivian. So a breakdown through $60, I think, is a try for the short. And then today in the pre-market, the high is 61.50. So you have easy outs if the 61 doesn't hold, if the 60 doesn't hold. So it's an easy break spot. Yesterday, we bounced around $60 a couple times. This is actually 60.50, bounce in the pre-market. Then it started to go lower, and then 60 became a top right here. So that's sort of what we're looking at right there. If you draw a line, 60 there, 60 here again, and then 60 coming through today. So let's see if we can hit this to the short side. If it falls down, I mean, we don't have to take the trade if it doesn't go. So we'll wait for a 60 break on Rivian. I'm actually going to put the order in right now because I'm pretty confident that we're going to have I don't know. I just don't want to get into something with a half hour to go. But we're going to make out Rivian here, 60 on the short. I'm going to add it to the sticky note.
All right, the M&A train continues, guys. Bally's seems to be the next one here, just catching a huge bid up to 36 on this note. Standard General proposing a deal for 38 per share. Nothing confirmed on that yet, but if you saw Bally's going crazy, that is why. 38 makes sense. Back to this top end of the range on BALY. Let's bring in Arun here, get a check of the overall market. I mean, what do we say after yesterday afternoon, Arun? That was pretty impressive. I guess the most important part, what do you do today now?
Yeah, and as crazy as yesterday was, at least it gave us some information that we can actually work with. Remember, yesterday I was saying pretty much we have nothing to work with. So let the market decide what it wants to do and establish some levels. Now we have some general areas that we can play with. We see that 44. Yesterday I was looking at 44 even into 10. It seems like that 10 area is going to hold. So I'm going to mark out 44.10 as a top end level. So anything north of 43.80, I'm looking for shorts against that 44.10. That's one option. But I think the bigger option here is what I'm looking at is the support bid, which is 42.90 is what I'm looking at. So anything pretty much from where we are right now, 43.34 is where we are, all the way down to 42.90. There's a decent amount of support here. So if we can find a long in there, I'd rather go for the long than the short, but the area to go for that long is right here. So it's just a matter of waiting for that setup and that confirmation that, you know what, it's time to go. Once we get that, we'll go for it. If we lose 42.90, and then you're looking at pretty much the lows, right? 4,200, that's going to be the low that you're going to be working with from yesterday. So you have 4,200 down below. You have 44.10 as an option for a short for about 30 points or so, 43.80 going up to 44.10. And then if we can just find a long setup somewhere here in the next 20, 30 points against that 42.90, I think that's a preferable trade. Markets are at 1.5% on the S&P, 2%, just over 2% on the negative side. On the NASDAQ, kind of in line with where we were starting yesterday. And then we saw how that ride went. So be prepared for anything, but at least now we have some levels that we can potentially take some shots around.
Great stuff. Thanks, Arun. Yeah, busy day on deck. Let's jump into what is moving around otherwise as far as stocks are concerned. We'll talk about the watch list here, guys. A number of names to get through on the earnings front, as well as I said, if you need that link, Miss V is happy to provide that in the chat. Let's go to big tech to start things off. As we said, Microsoft gets the spotlight today. We'll get Tesla tomorrow, and then Apple coming up on Thursday as far as earnings. But I mean, they're all kind of looking the same this morning here in the pre-market, down slightly off of where we were yesterday. But Microsoft on deck today.
Yeah, we've talked about Microsoft a lot today, so thanks for watching us, guys. Down only 1.47%, better than the market rate. Now, we added to the sticky note, guys, we added Rivian there on the sticky note, short through 60. We did have to pay for that. Look, Azure is going to be monstrous. Xbox is monstrous. I think everything that Microsoft is doing is working. They're just getting caught up in what is the sell-off. So, at some level, Microsoft becomes a value play. I think it's even right now. We talked about the cash they have on hand. I think they should scrap the deal with ATVI and really screw over all those shareholders. But I don't know if that's going to happen or not. I feel like they should, but whatever. They've already made their bed there, and that's fine. I think that was a good purchase anyways. Down here to 275 yesterday. What a crazy bottom that was. I think Microsoft just continues to work here. It's a big name, well-run company. So many, avenues to grab that profit. I'm really excited for the Azure number. Like I said, I think the cloud is going to be absolutely monstrous once again for Microsoft. They've solidified a few new deals in that space, and I think that that's going to be something that rockets this stock. And I mean, should it be down here? In my opinion, not even close. But it is, so we'll see where it goes. The last time we touched a 200 period moving average was in 2018 when everything crashed. So I think this is an awesome opportunity right here to pick some up. You could pick some up now. You could wait for after the report, whenever you want. But I think Microsoft is definitely a buy at these levels. I'm just waiting for it to break through 290. I put on here that it's probably a short through 290, but I don't know. The Nasdaq's kind of holding up. We may use 290 as a bid level, but again, I'd rather let Microsoft settle down. I don't want to get anything too early. Let's see where the market goes today and take it from there. But it looks like, we could rally a little bit here into that. And if we do, and we look to take out yesterday's high, that's still 298, man. I don't know if we get up there. But yeah, I like Microsoft, and I can't even really think of too many negative things unless they miss on the cloud number. But I love Microsoft here, and I think it's a buy, and it's a must hold, and it's a must own in anyone's long-term portfolio.
Yeah, I don't see them missing. I just think that you might get to once you get past a 30 on them for the PE, it gets an even bigger buy. And I think that could take, if that happens, then you're talking about getting back to a 280 support, which is that's stink bid territory, just to see if you can catch a little something. I look at the setup and it's the same thing, chart after chart, V-shaped recovery, gapping down, and then you have double tops as resistance points. That's not a setup I'm looking to short Microsoft on. It's just not happening. If you have a choice between taking a rollover setup on Pinterest or Firm or DWAC or Microsoft, that's an easy decision. Even if I think there could be some risk off going into earnings, I just feel like that's not going to make a heck of a lot of sense. But any of the wick bottoms from yesterday are in play for higher support in front of it. In the case that we get a bit of a flush, I think once it gets below the 30p, it's time to buy this one again, which could easily happen. Right after market or at some point after market. But, I think this is a name. If we start climbing to the upside, it's so enticing because it's 300. It's a double top from yesterday. It feels like it's the right place to be, but I'm not going to be jumping against that one. I'd much rather be looking at the pins of the world.
All right, let's go to NVIDIA here. We'll talk NVIDIA, but we can make this more about the chip space in general because they also had quite the move back higher yesterday. But if you missed it this morning, Bloomberg first reporting that, they're walking away or potentially preparing to walk away from buying ARM from SoftBank over here. Just talking about antitrust issues in this note this morning. So NVIDIA, not really doing much here overall, but all the chip makers kind of in this area this morning.
Yeah, we talked a little bit about NVIDIA and thinking that was. Look, I don't think it was a surprise that they're pulling out of the deal. I didn't think it was likely to go through. And I'm looking at the weakness that it's bringing into some of the chip names. You got some stink levels yesterday. And I know we talked about NVIDIA. If we see 200, that's the only place I'm really all that interested in for defending a bid. Otherwise, it's almost time-based. The way the market's going right now, it's if you don't get the level you want, then wait till about 10 to 10.15 if the market comes down, and then start thinking about where we see some consolidations. But in the space, and, I was not stink bidding this. I dipped back into some AMAT and I was like, why was I not stink bidding at the IPO price on Global Foundries? And Sean was like, yeah, by the way, did you see it go over the IPO price yesterday? I was like, no, I did not. I'll get a stink bid out on this one probably today. But that's this closed, on IPO day and right here made a double bottom at 46. And that's exactly what the bottom was in yesterday's action. So this means the spread is $2 on the stock right now. I was about to say it's $47 on the bid, but the last print was at $48.80. So this is 100% GlobalFoundries. Do not trade until it settles down, but certainly once it opens up, I'll be looking at that 46 level. I just noticed now like a $2 spread just opened up to almost $3. Yeah, so you definitely want to wait for this at the open, but back to IPO prices on GFS.
Yeah. I mean, I was looking at ASML getting killed, AMAT getting killed, AMD, NVIDIA, GFS. I mean, they're all the same right now. That's why I go over and I bought yesterday some SMH, right? So SMH, a good name to buy yesterday. We got long at 264 yesterday in our long term. So we'll see. It's going to test it again today, obviously, on that NVIDIA deal. So there is, something to look at here. I like this name. You get again. Why mess with all these different names? NVIDIA, this and that. I already hold NVIDIA and AMD. I'm already super long those names. So, I mean, I remember my first time I bought AMD was $50. The first time I bought NVIDIA was $100. Not that means anything. It's just there's tons of runway for those stocks still, considering their prices. They could even fade lower. But I think that if you're nervous right now about specific pricing, take the SMH here. There's a few other ones, the SOX, things like that. But I like, for the semiconductors index, I like SMH right here at the 200 period. You did obviously dip down to 257, 255. You get some lows here around 245-ish. That's amazing. I'm a buyer of SMH hand over fist. And I'm also buying Ms. V today because she's in the green. And that should be a good sign, Ms. V.
Yes, Sean, I'm very green because our viewers were asking me about that. And guys, we want to ask you to like this video. We have more than 5,000 people watching, and we would really appreciate if you support the community. Please help us to get 3,000 likes today by the end of the show. And now let's go back to Brandon.
Just watching, thank you, Ms. V. Just watching Sierra Oncology starting to go again. SRRA 2324 was an important level for that, but positive news anyways for SRRA on the cancer front, so heading back to the upside. Let's go on to IBM. Not a lot on the earnings front as far as activity is concerned today. IBM with a big move after market yesterday, and it's interesting only because, yes, it's old tech, but it's positive in this environment. Decent report. We're up this morning. Not much to be made from this kind of price action this morning, but good to see this move overall off the report.
Yeah, it's a little bit, I would say, given the fact that they actually had growth that wasn't, like 1% or something along those lines, it was definitely good growth for them, and part of the turnaround story, I guess, that they're trying to pull off here. But I mean, essentially gives up the majority of the aftermarket gain, then proceeds to also slide back into the downside. I think it's barely up right now. And I think this has more to do with the rally that it had been on. IBM pulled a 114 move into 140 in just unbelievable fashion at the end of the year. And it screamed of, okay, well, where else are you going to go to if you want to pick up a dividend? There's lots of places that I think money could have been hiding. It was such an unbelievable climb. I feel that it's continuing to have some profit takers here. So, it would be easy to say, okay, well, rotation to safety puts you into an old tech name like an IBM, and then they've reported some good growth here today. I'm just feeling like the signs that could be a trap. I think we talked about American Express with the good earnings. I think you put a bid in on that stock because that feels a lot better to me. I think they have much better long-term prospects than going with IBM. And I have nothing against old tech and turnaround stories, right? Like I was buying Oracle a couple of years ago, and I was buying Intel last year. So I got no issue with that. I'm not necessarily on board after we've already seen this run on IBM that didn't quite make a ton of sense to me when it happened. And then the volume's not really all that great in here today. And I never like to see on earnings when you get the positive, you get a good note and you get a big gap up like that, and then it gives so much back. It's one thing. It's tradable if it was back up here 134, 135, because then you could take breakdowns of 135, rollovers off the high, breakouts. There's so many things that are in play. Right back down here, do I want to take a re-breakout from the lows on IBM? No, count me out. it's just not going to be a sexy name for me today. I'm not going to be trading IBM. I do think it bears monitoring if it tries to put in that stair-step run again like it did in December, because sitting that one out was kind of a waste. But if it starts to do that again, maybe count me in a couple of days from now after earnings have settled down. But again, not even a lot of volume. And that Sierra, by the way, that's on the list for. I'm looking at 26 potentially, but SRRA, I'm looking at 26 at the open to see if it can't get through that level.
Not a lot, to say the least, of liquidity in Sierra Oncology. We'll keep an eye on that one. Just reading through this J&J note as well on their report. It was the $3.5 billion forecast for vaccine sales for next year or this year, I guess we're already in this year. That kind of caught the attention of some. We got flushed initially, but trying to get back to the upside. Again, I mean, these names this morning that reported not doing a heck of a lot, but good to see anyways that we're trying to get back to positive.
Yeah, okay, so the coffee is... So we reloaded. I actually didn't even drink my first one. I was drinking the one, the hazelnut that my wife threw down there, but now we got a nice coffee right now. For IBM, look, I still think that 131 is going to be a huge level. IBM was a great quarter. I think they rocket through. If you're going to look for any longs here today, obviously it's up on the day. I love IBM through this 131. So we'll wait to see where it goes. We haven't really touched on the imbalance locator. So let's have a quick look on this one as it's 9:15 right now. NEO with a crazy sell yesterday and really didn't rebound as much as the other ones. So we'll look at NEO here today as well. Other than that, really nothing on watch. AMC is going to be to the sell side. We're very excited about AMC through 16, maybe even the 16.10 level. But again, still 15 minutes to go. We'll take a 16 bid, see if it holds 15.50 here or so. Maybe I'll just go long. I think maybe AMC long right now is probably good. I think we'll put a bid here, see if we can get one on AMC at these levels. I like it. And then NEO, yeah, let's look at NEO quickly here. A big move down yesterday, all the way to $23, and then it only went up to 24. Like it didn't rally that much. It didn't close positive. It didn't do anything yesterday. So NEO off of a big move down from $26 all the way to 23. So it goes down 250, but then only rallies back. Like I mean, where did we close here? 24.50, so down 3, up 1 for NEO. So I'm a little worried about that name, and I think we could take out some lows here on NIO. So this is a name to watch here for a short if you thought this market was coming down to the downside. We'll see what happens here off the open, but NEO's definitely on my radar. So that's just a quick look there. I like the AMC long. I'm on the bid. We'll see if we can get filled down here. But right now, AMC long, and we'll watch out for that NEO. That's all that's on the imbalance locator here.
Yeah, I mean, talking a little bit about J&J, we mentioned Pfizer a little bit, and I think that's a vehicle I wanted to go to. J&J earnings, it was a bit of a disappointment, I think, overall, but it has been, and it's weird because the J&J has been getting beaten up in the last few weeks here, but it's getting real close to some interesting support down at the 155 to 160 area. And I think once it churns into that level, it's going to be, okay, just start picking it. If you don't already own shares of the stock, and start picking into it. The 160 could get tested this morning, but it's just 45,000 shares worth of volume here today. Not much to see. Even if we were at 160, I wouldn't be sitting there on the bid on the J&J. So Pfizer is going to do better volume because it's been, I guess, the preferred vehicle for a lot of people in terms of trading, and that's the one I tend to be watching. Oh, goodness. Just when I thought Lucid was trying to pop and give me the pop and fade, Lucid just drops back below 37. I still like it in front of that 38 and a quarter level, but yeah, it just I just saw it drop like 30, 40 cents, so might not get that fill with only 10 minutes to go.
We're going to put in our order right now to hit some Rivian short in case it does take that 60-30. We were going to wait for it to hit that in the pre-market levels, $60. I like it. I just didn't want to get wicked in. So we will do a smaller amount of shares than normal here, just in case. And if we get closer to 9:30, then that's when let's close this. Then that's when we will hit this 60 short. And don't worry, Shakib, my friend, Hydration Nation is in the building, and I am hydrating as we speak. But reminds me, I got to have my multivitamin. Shout out to Costco shareholders, as that's another name that I'm not in, but again, they take my money. The good thing about Costco is it's a free membership because I get credit back for every dollar that you spend, right? So Costco continues to pay me to go there. I like it. Multivitamin. Shout out to you, Shakib. What's up?
DWAC just coming off a little bit there, not seeing much, but some volume coming into DWAC. Let's talk about social media stocks here. I just saw this note on Twitter, which was kind of caught my eye. First of all, we'll talk about Pinterest as well. Bernstein with price target cut on Pinterest here. But down here, Twitter saw a record number of government requests to remove user content in the January to June period of 2021. Coming from the company itself. But yeah, here's Pinterest. I mean, all of these stocks had crazy moves yesterday back to the upside after being absolutely killed. But Pinterest, another downgrade here for Bernstein as well.
Bernstein or Berenstein, being the Berenstein Bears. Gotta love those books. But like I already talked about Pinterest, if we get to this, I'm looking for a short in front of 31. You had the high yesterday, 31.20. You had the rollover here at about 31.50. Check that on Friday. So that's a clear area of resistance in my mind when it gets there. If it churns through, fair enough, then I'll have lost on Pinterest. But this is the one, and we talked about this in the afternoon show, it was such an outsized move, and I think there's going to be a lot of people that'll be pretty happy, like in a bounce, to be able to take it. It does make sense. At some point, I guess it falls into that bucket of making sense as maybe an acquisition for someone down the line. That's probably going to be a good vehicle for them to get value to the shareholders. But as a day trade, that's not really front of your mind as a bit of a concern. Like, I mean, if that happens, that happens. In the weeks or the months. I'm just looking today at that resistance point at 31.50 on Pinterest. And you could look at a similar chart of Etsy, but it's Pinterest that caught my attention.
Someone prefers, here it is right here, what's up, vet? You prefer smoking weed and eating fruits to taking vitamins. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. I don't think, Costco
Fruits
vitamins.
have vitamins.
Not good. I have to see they have folic acid. Yeah, maybe I'll read to see what they have there on that one. But thank you guys for all that love. We are into a new position right now, bang, for AMC. So we'll see where that one goes. Obviously, it's filling everybody here. So we're long at 91. We'll see. I still like a 16.10 break. We're going to take more shares. We're going to triple our position on a 16.10 break. Give it back to 15.50. Just going to use this level here yesterday, 15.50 on AMC. So triple, like I said, no problems telling you guys kind of share size where we're putting some of our shares. So we'll take a spot here for sure at 16.10. We do realize that it could drop, which is why this 15.50 is an important level for me. If it does fall down, we will average. So we'll do the same trade. It either comes back in and we take some more shares here at 15.60, or it drops, or it rips up and we take a 16.10. So one way or the other, we will be in to some AMC. And then as we talk about Costco, what a great opportunity to get into something here. I've been watching Costco for a long time. And if my chart loads, long time here, hopefully that will happen. We're down near the 200 period. And I don't ever want to look at yesterday's little bottoms. I mean, we'll see if that can take it in effect again. That's that 470 level. But it's just right into here. If we can get any sort of a buy for Costco around 460 or 440, this area, I mean, it's still, that would be 10% lower. I mean, if the market does fall down 10% lower, then you should be buying huge names like Costco. That's going to be up to you, though. But I like that level here, 450, 460. Look at Costco's run over the year. I mean, talk about a name that has just been absolute fire, riding the 50 period all the way up until, of course, we have this. So Costco's a must buy for anybody in a long-term spot that's looking for some kind of grocer / retail, anything like that. Costco continues to rock and roll. They're not going to have, they're going to have some supply chain management issues, but it's not going to be logistically. They're well run. They even deliver for free. It's a great opportunity to pick up some Costco. That's my number one name. Not Walmart, not Target, not anything like that. Costco is what I would pick up on any more dips, man. I'm very, very close to pulling the trigger on this one.
I was looking at Home Depot last night as well, Sean. Crazy move back to the downside for Home Depot. APM, let's talk about tiny little stocks that we do every day about this time. APM up here to 283, which, if you remember last week, this thing popped up on monster volume, but really didn't do anything. Kind of just chopped around all day around this 160, 150. However, we're back into these levels. 283 is the top end of this range, so a couple levels to watch as we head towards the open. We're obviously at 230 right now. Something's going to break here. Tight little consolidation forming on APM. Could test 283 and then fail, but if we get a flush through 220, expect 150, 140 for APM, guys.
Yeah, the other thing I'm looking at for APM is the high in yesterday's action was right at 210 in the aftermarket, and that's what the floor is today. So looking at a 210 level as a potential break. There was also, you already mentioned SRRA there, Brendan, but there was another one on our list, this Checkpoint Therapeutics, CKPT, if I can get that one out right and we actually load up. Come on, do it for me. There we go. No, it's CKPT. Checkpoint. It's already made a couple moves. It actually was halted and then reopened at about 290. Tried to get through $3 and then flushed. So I'm looking at those levels, although it did turn at 275. So the 75, the 3 even, I think are going to be in play. It's also starting to consolidate, but after already fading, and again, this is a 200, literally this 250 on the stock. We're at the same place here at that $3 level. So I was frustrated of not shorting it when it reopened, but if it gets anywhere into that cluster at the open, I think that's where the resistance should be on Checkpoint. That's going to be all over the radar. You mentioned AMC. The other end of that coin for retail traders is GameStop. It's as usual doing its barcoding action in the pre-market. It seems to always do this where there's just a tight cluster somewhere in the open on this name in the last couple of days. Pop, fade, pop, fade. It's a bit of a different range because we're below 100 right now, but I think I look at 101, it pops, shorted in front of 101, and then if it wants to break out today, eventually at some point, that setup is not going to work, but it's worked 2 days literally in a row. So if it happens a third time, there's no way I'm not going to be taking it. And then as you mentioned, SRRA, and that's that Sierra name here. It already failed once. Tried to get through $30 here when we opened up or earlier on in the pre-market, and then dumped $10. It's come about halfway to 225. I'm kind of looking more at this 26 area, which was the first hump here on the reversal from 30. If it does break up, this feels like the kind of name that could really halt on you. So if it does break that 26, it could halt without even getting to 30. So I'm not taking a 26 break, although if it goes into a halt state between 26 and 30, I'd at least be looking at trying to get maybe that long into the halt and then that quick little in and out style of trade. And then only because you mentioned MyMed, I mean, I like stocks when they break that dollar mark. If MyMed breaks $1 today, I'll probably be shorting 99 cents just because I don't see how I don't. It's a setup that's worked for time and time again. And the risk reward is usually pretty good there. It's not quite there right now because I know it just made another bit of a bounce here, but I am looking at MyMed. Actually, no, never mind. Just a couple of minutes, like literally a minute ago, it went down from this 105. So that could happen at the open through $1.
Yeah, MyMed will be lower than $1 at close today. I'm pretty sure about that. So NASDAQ just came out and really much ado about nothing here. Yesterday, this was all sells. You guys remember that? All sells all the way down and big names as well. Today, we don't have that much. Shout out, we have Riot on here. We talked about that yesterday. Watch them into the Bitcoin numbers. AMC's a sell. We're long AMC. I'm not worried about this number, 200,000. There's absolutely nothing on here. DD. I wouldn't be investing in any Chinese names. We actually lightened up some BABA. You guys already know about that one. And I don't know. BABA's PE is like 12, which is ridiculous. We're going to wait to see. We got to put some more bids here on AMC. Plan for DraftKings, man. Short all the way up to 20. We break back through 2025, yesterday's high, and we're going to be out of DraftKings if we take this out. I just feel like that move was just a fugazi. Should be going back down to the downside right here, and we'll wait to see, but it has to pop up. So short's going to be in here. Really, the plan of action, guys, is to settle that down here and not get into something too crazy off the open. Yesterday, like we had Tesla long yesterday, and then it dropped $40 and then ripped up $100 or $80, whatever Tesla did yesterday. So let's just be patient today. We have lots of trade ideas. It's on the sticky note. It's on our watch list. Hashtag sticky note on Twitter. Go find it. Find me at Trader TV Sean, where we post up all of these notes. Look, AMD today, again, another name that we're going to look at here off the sticky note, up again right now, starting to make some moves here. Watch out for 113.50 breaking out. I'm going to be a buyer down here, though. I don't have any bids yet. Looking at a 110 to defend that area, just in case we drop back down. But hey, man, the market's about to open, and is it going to be a turnaround Tuesday, or is it going to be a turned down Tuesday right now? So we're going to find out what's going to happen. But either way, man, get buckled up. Get ready to rock and roll. It's going to be a good one. The only thing is, though, most of the time, like days of Fed meetings heading into tomorrow, generally they're not spicy, but today we could get that. Look, I'm pretty sure it's 94.5% or so, might as well be 100% that they're going to raise it a quarter point. We already know that. That's already baked in. So anybody like worried about the Fed, No, you're looking at the wrong spot there. We already know what they're going to do. The only thing that's going to happen tomorrow is when they don't raise it, then you're going to see the market explode to the upside, I think. Or if they go 50 points, you're going to see some action. So for right now, I feel like, there it goes. I mean, I just talked about AMD starting to get going there. It just took out 114. Looks like the market wants to rally here today. Some nice bids back here. We were just down 3%. Now you're only down 2%. A nice little bid here. Look at AMD starting to go right now. So let's get locked and loaded here today.
Yeah, for those of you that may be tuning in late, if you see a gapper called Bally's, B-A-L-Y, that's a $38 deal. The way that all M&A has been trading recently, I'm going to fade it in front of that. If it gets anywhere near the price on any kind of a pop, I'm going to fade it. These have been selling off and then creating spreads almost every single morning on all of these names, and it's just a deal after deal. So I don't want to necessarily ignore that. We have a lot that we are going to be watching here this morning, but like Sean said, you have to narrow it down. Specific types of setups. So even on something like DWAC, where I am waiting and looking for the offer, why is it still on Valley? And then I'm going to be waiting on that 69 level. Either I get the pop to the price level I want into that 69, or I don't get it. It's just I don't mind. I don't have to short DWAC at this price level. If it pops into the 68 to 68 and a half, then I'm going to get it short. And it's the same thing with Lucid. Sure, I want it up there, but I'm not going to chase it too far. I want to make sure I get the fill that I want. And of course, that APM will be on watch. I was some scalp trading it this morning, but I'm looking to see if that gets back up to a 250. And there's also the 210 breakdown on APM. Miss V's in the green, and she's on the bell. Didn't need the green yesterday for the crazy rally back. Almost should have worn the black again. But let's see if Turnaround Tuesday is a thing. 5, 4, 3, 2, and ring it. What was...
I don't know what that was. Okay, here we go. Ready to rock and roll here. Get ready for AMC. That's a name that we're looking at right now. AMC, the market's starting to pop up a little bit right now. IBM coming back to the downside. We're going to wait out for 131 to go through on IBM. That's a name that we're looking at here. Softy. I'm just trying to find some names that are moving here. Softy back down to 290, 291. Some breaking spots happening right now on some of these names. Let's check out DraftKings. Where's that going? Yeah, what a tank city on this one. Maybe we'll just go short if we take out 1915, guys.
Yeah, and already into my med. And I mean, is that a surprise?
Nope.
I don't know. Is anybody surprised about that one? I don't think so. But that SSRA, this one looks very, very spicy already. It tried to get back up to like even 25 and couldn't get there at the open. So that 26 level I like might not be in play unless it gets off its juice here. And there's a breakdown potentially at 23.50. So this one looks like it's going to be a spicy meatball. It's getting open. It can move like $5 or $10 in an absolute heartbeat, but 23.50 holding the bid right now. I just saw Lucid start to make its run to the upside. So I'm being patient with Lucid. I want to see it get closer to that 38 mark. It's trying to make its breakout right now, but I want to be fading it first.
Okay, so we're already 1 for 1 here on AMC. Long 91s, out 8s right there. So 17 cents already. There we'll hit the banger for AMC. We'll see where it goes now. We're still in some of these shares, but it goes right up to that 16.10 level that we liked. So we got some out right there for 19 cents. So let's wait to see what happens on that one. AMD, I mean, I told you we'd try to wait for this. AMD's starting to go right now, so that's nice. That's a nice little rally spot right here. Still go upside. Again, I'm not convinced this market wants to rally. Microsoft right now as well. I mean, we're still down 1.7%. Softy as well, just banging up its head against some of these levels. If it wants to go, maybe 294 here for Softy as a level. So we'll punch that ticket long in case it wants to go. And then we'll just wait to see what happens on the fade back through 292 or so. So Microsoft, 294 bid, let's go. We also do take IBM right there through 131. This is a name that we like, so we have it on board right now, 131.20 for IBM.
Yeah, and just got Pinterest went through that $30 mark. I wanted it to open up instead of taking it on light volume and a bit of a big spread. But now that it's below 30, I'm going to short it through that off of that 30 level. And APM about 5 cents away from that 210 for the breakdown. Brendo.
This crazy TKLF from last week, guys, IPO from last week has been absolutely nuts. Halted on the way down yesterday. We're halting for the first time on the way back up today.
I was going to say,
already halted.
I was going to say, here comes the fade right now on some of these names, but we'll see right here. AMD, just waiting to see what it wants to do. Is it going to take out this pre-market bottom of 112.13? Maybe it is here. Good thing we got out of some of that IBM. Obviously, we're into it as the market just falls down. So we'll be averaging into this name. I'm not worried. This is a name that I'm happy actually being stuck long with right now as crypto. Everything's starting to come down to the downside right now. Watch out below here as some of these stocks starting to really get going here. Watch out for AMD. I still think AMD can go on the long side, so we're gonna have to watch out for that one still too. What happened now?
No, I mean, Lockheed didn't even give you any. You just had to take the break on Lockheed. It's already up 3%, up like $7 from the open here. So I'm kind of kicking myself with that. And missed opportunity is a missed opportunity. But going back over to the one that I thought it was going to be Lucid and Pinterest. I'm not going to chase Pinterest too far away from that 30 because that's the first level short. Lucid, it's setting up here, trying to get through the pre-market highs. It already failed once at that level, and I still like it off of 38. But if this is as far as it wants to go, and I can get a 10 to 15 cent stop off the current high at 35, I'll probably try this for the first rollover. But just keep in mind, I like it a heck of a lot better in front of that 38 area. So it is one that I'm definitely willing to revisit. But if it's going to give me a shot off a pop and fade at a level like this, right at 37, 35 or so, I'll take a shot. And then, if it stops out, fair enough. I didn't check back in on a firm. That's more of an oversight than anything else. But I can tell you, there we go. I can tell you it's starting to get to the upside. $60 is the monster level on a firm. A firm gets to 60, and I think it's an obvious fade. Not a lot of fireworks at this open, so kind of waiting for this market to actually start moving on us. Yesterday, we were going gangbusters back and forth in the first couple of minutes. Being patient here, Brendo.
Yeah, Small Direct Club just popping up, guys. We mentioned this one late in the day yesterday. Yeah, there was a upgrade on this one as well that came actually after market, after the close yesterday. But big volume here for SDC.
Yeah, I just don't know. I mean, look at the NASDAQ right now, guys. It's just like it's bouncing, doing absolutely nothing in here. Yesterday's bottom of the Qs, nowhere to be found right now. So we'll wait to see what's happening with the NQs, but the NASDAQ just bouncing around. We did average in. Again, if we're taking these 31 breaks, these aren't going to be big positions, but we do take an IBM dump down a little bit there and see what happens if we can hold this. We just did average into that. Thank you, Ms. V, for the reload. Microsoft, I do like taking out this high of 292.70 or so, but you can see right now we are starting to get faded in to some of these levels, so I got to watch out for my arm here as we hit that. I just got reloaded in the coffee, but thank you, Ms. V, for the double reload there as I'll just put the cold one away right now. Yeah, so here we go, back up to the upside. We're still long 130.60 here on IBM. Let's see if this one works. Okay, so now we're really rocking. DraftKings back up to the upside. We may be wrong on this one. We're going to give this one to 2025 right here. If the market wants to go upside, great for us. We're already long IBM. We're long AMC. But right now, DraftKings, we are short into it. 89 short on AMC, or sorry, on DraftKings, a position that I like right here.
Yeah, and so I'm into pins. I'm going to take one more leg in between this and the high of the day, which is 30.50. But remember, still like some upper bound levels. Lucid, by the way, broke back below. It's weird. Like, Lucid actually broke back below 37. When you said DraftKings was going up, I was like, okay, well, maybe some of these names are going to start popping. Lucid comes the other way, and I just got filled for the first scalp at 35 penny winner. But I'm going to reload this one in front of that current high of the day, the 37, AMC. 35 area. So if it comes back in, I'm just going to load right back into it.
Yep, AMC, let's go, guys. Let's spin the money around for AMC. It's been a little bit of a time today, but there it goes right now. We're long again. Beautiful long for AMC as we're Rip City right here. Let's see how far we can go, man. AMC rocking and rolling up to 1630. Let's go, guys. Put that money on the board right now as AMC starting to get elevated to the upside. Takes them out, guys. 28s. Here we go. AMC, nice little move up. 1630, good trade. We're long. It's a good one here for AMC. Yeah, so we're into AMC short, long, DraftKings short, IBM long. Let's continue this rip. Let's go.
Right, you see finally getting some actual movement in the market. By the way, Lockheed is just all over the place. Like, it just pulled back $6. If it gives a shot back at the pre-market highs at 378, that's a gift that I'm going to try and jump in front and take. Was that Brendan?
Yep.
Another one having a big move this morning. Moderna, guys, with a huge pop here from 154 up to 170 almost at the highs there on huge volume as well. 6.5% for Moderna.
mRNA.
Sorry, 6.5%. Wow. So GameStop, I got the rollover in. I just got my bid in Lockheed Martin, but GameStop just made its roll right into that 101 area. I'm short right here at 99. Get the short pop. We patiently waited for it. If it doesn't get through 101, and this is a curl, I want to make sure I'm adding on the curl of GameStop.
Yeah, there it is right now, guys. Let's go. Woo, 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 woo. As Microsoft's starting to go through the roof here. Nice trade. We took out a little bit of pieces there. This is not something where I feel like you hold the longs all day here today, guys. But Microsoft right now, 55 cents in the money and still trying to rally. Bitcoin rallying right now. Ethereum starting to go up as well. Ethereum trying to take out 2,500. Bitcoin right here. If it reloads, I just hit the reload for you. 37.14 right now. So back to 37,000. We bought some Solana last night. Let's keep on this rally train going to the upside right now. The only thing that's about to get clocked out is looks like it's going to be DraftKings. But AMC, a nice little move to the upside. DraftKings, we held on to that move, man. This is all the way back in. Let's take out something here if we can at 02s or so. As DraftKings, there it is. Okay, good. As DraftKings comes back in, that was Nervous Nancy there. We almost got stopped out at 2025. That was pretty damn close. Microsoft, let's take out another piece now. 70 cents now in the money on Softy. To the moon we go.
Yeah, I just got the roll with GameStop. It does turn at 101 for now. Lockheed Martin, it bounces it bounces right off the pre-market highs where it broke out from at 378 and immediately starts churning right back up into this 381 area. So this could be a bit of a gift, just sort of immediately paying a $2.50 winner on it. Still have to get out. As a matter of fact, I just got the fill. So I would celebrate it in a quick second, but that 30 level got retaken on Pinterest. So that was a tight stop. Don't want to get trapped to the bottom. I really just got out in front of 30, so only losing about 25 pennies on that, actually not even. But I wanted to make sure, this is going to test higher. 31 is a level I like the heck of a lot better on that name. And then coming right back over, my mid's not doing anything. If it does, I got short at 99.5. It has not broken the 105, which I want to be my out. And I said I would stink bid Global Foundries. It didn't move either. No volume on GFS. If it tests 46 and the market comes down, fair enough. But that doesn't feel like what's going to happen this morning.
We're taking multiple pennies there on IBM. Let's see where it goes upside now as it's starting to fade back a little bit here. We'll wait to see. I'm pretty excited about DraftKings, but that 20 is looming large here. Let's see if we can fall back down. I have some bids in the 80s. Actually, I'll cancel that 57 bid there. I don't know. We'll see what the market wants to do. I'm fine if this goes up, it goes through, guys. We do have the long AMC. We have the long IBM right now, which is coming back in a little bit. And then Softy, if we break back down below 292, we're going to be out of that one. But here goes Microsoft, hopefully back through 293. And then we'll see where we're going with this, as it's been a nice profitable trade for us here on Microsoft to the long side. And we're trying to be patient with this one. I think the earnings are great. But again, the market is really what's on my mind right now, as the triple Q's just dancing here. 347, 348, looking to make some moves upside. There we go. Let's go, Microsoft. Looks like we'll probably get X'd out here on DraftKings, as it's going to take out. Yeah, there it goes. There we go. As it's going to take that out. So we'll flip that a little bit long, but there goes Softy right now. $1 in the money off of a bad trade. We'll flush ourselves on the toilet for DraftKings, but happy with this market so far today.
Yeah, I mean, you can't complain. The market's trying to get upside. I wish there was a little more action, but beggars can't be choosers. You got to take what it's going to give you. We're right back up towards now 382, but Lockheed's slowing down a little bit. So you had the pop at the open, you had the dip right into the breakout price, which again, sometimes it's a little bit of a gift. But now we're rolling back over. If we retake out the lows, I might have to dip out of that. That's a little bit weak of a move, I think, and GameStop starts that curl, so patiently waited for it to get up to the level that we wanted. It curls at 101. I add only when it curls at 101. I'll try to take $1.50 out. You know what? Why am I sitting at too obvious of a level? I'm going to stick it somewhere in the middle between 25 and 50s there for the first leg out, and then the next leg out will be in front of 96 as GameStop starts to come back in here. Bounces off VWAP. I want to make sure I've taken some profit. And of course, Lucid. It is what it is on Lucid. I got stopped out on Lucid. Tight stop at 37.35. It goes just a little bit higher. So we get a win, and we reload, and then we lose on it. And now these names starting to roll over. Like GameStop, we hold on to, but Lucid, I don't. I don't know. In the afternoon show, I said I really like Lucid for the pop and fade. I know GameStop's worked for a few days in a row now, but should have been able to hold on to Lucid a bit better than I did.
Oh man, that's so depressing. Look at DraftKings. We just got out at the high.
No,
you want to talk about your fills? Just got out when it breaks literally 2 cents higher, and then now we'd be not infinitely, but we'd be nicely in the money now, back down here. So we'll try to reshort that one. I feel like we had a dead to rights there, as there goes AMC, another one for us here. So at least that one's kind of mooning for us, as AMC just takes out some more key levels there on that reload. Look where we just got reloaded, and look where it went. So AMC, let's go, baby. We're just cashing out this profit now on AMC, as wow, what a day changer. Yes, what happened to AMC right there? AMC seeks to secure financing deal amid meme stock volatility. Let's go, AMC. AMC, get that financing deal on board, baby. Down to $15.60. Now a nice little rip side here for AMC. We're ripping here. Let's take off one more piece and then hold the rest. We can get some 40s out on AMC. We'll do that. They're going to seek, so AMC seeks to secure financing amongst, this is from the Wall Street Journal, mean volatility. So we'll talk about that. I'll tweet this out, guys. Follow me on Twitter as we put out this headline right now about AMC. We can go to Brendan when he has it.
Yeah, that was crazy because at the same time, I went from like $1.50 in the money, so $2 in the money on GameStop to essentially flat. This Sierra, by the way, this is the one I said could halt at the open. Damn it. Anyways, this is the one, SRA, we said could possibly halt at the open on a spike, and I would try to get it long. I just tried. I didn't get it. It just halted, limit up to the upside, 25.42. It's still between this price and that $30 area, which was right in the target window. But obviously, as you can see, it should be a 5-minute halt on SRA. I just wasn't quite fast enough on that.
Oh, wow. That's a game changer right there, guys, for me on AMC. Wow, what a great run that was there. Yeah, Microsoft crashing, so this is good. Someone should put Microsoft crashing. Yeah, a little bit.
What?
We're out of Microsoft there, so Microsoft's going to be fine for us. But it is making a move to the downside right into pre-market levels. So I think this, I mean, again, it's just a matter of what we think about this market, but 290 probably a good defense level there for Softy. So that's a level that we could always look at. Kill him, Brendan.
The volume alert here on MindMed as well. Not really doing much, but $1 held like a champ there off the open. So back to pre-market highs here for MindMed up 15%. There's that line you were mentioning, Wall Street Journal saying, yeah, they're looking to refinance some debt for AMC.
85. DraftKings, I hate your guts.
It looks like maybe if I miss SRA, it's not going to be that bad because it's currently still a theoretical auction price basically flat on this right now. So 25.43 it looks like. GameStop, like the second Sean came with the headline there, you know, GameStop, I had just gotten filled. I was in the money about, actually about $2.50, and it spiked $2.50 right back into the 100 level. It's now starting to fade off a little bit. So it looks like that was just a relief rally on the AMC news, which obviously isn't directly related, but certainly causing a bit of a spike in GameStop. Now it's back to the bottom, although I will take some more profit closer to those lows.
Spin it. What did we add to the sticky note? What did we add to the sticky note? Let's have a quick look at what we added to the sticky note here, guys. So here's the sticky note. What did we add right now? Microsoft says pounds. Oh, no, here it is right here. What about Rivian short through 60? It's right here. We talked about that. There it is, 50 cents in the money on that Rivian trade. So here, let's copy this, paste this. There it is again, man. The sticky note continues this is what people are telling me, continues to make traders some money. So definitely check out the sticky note as there it is, man. 50 cents in the money on Rivian as this short just keeps on printing cash for us. We don't know what to do here. AMC, we've already emptied out a lot of that as we went right back up to pre-market highs. Let's take out one more piece in case it's not like the greatest news in the world like we think it might be. There goes Rivian to the downside even more, man. Rivian's crash city right now. So yes, sir, there it is. Let's go. Get that chicken dinner winner and put that thing on the board right now. That's a clean dollar move off the level I gave to you on the sticky note right there. I know Lucid was a little bit of a back and forth there. I'm still pissed off at DraftKings. Go to hell, DraftKings, honestly. That stock, man, that one should have not mooned the way it did there, and we just got out. But DraftKings, I don't care. I'm still sticking with that trade. I like it. Too bad it just didn't work out better for us. DraftKings on the move to the downside there. Darn you guys. We just missed that trade. I hope you held on to that. T-Doc down 4.
And GameStop, by the way, like that relief rally looks like it's pretty much instantly over on GameStop. It was just an AMC thing, it looks like here. So I just took the next leg out. Instead of at 96, I'll take it at 97 and grab a couple of bucks. My last entry was at 100, but the average price on this was 99.5, right? So my short's 99.5. That's a couple of dollars at 97.5. And now I can start thinking about how far can we go. We had the pre-market lows here at 95. You also have the afternoon dip, which was to $94. That's going to be on the radar for potential last out here. That SRRA on the halt should be open back up in about a minute and a half or so. This one got to $30 before it reversed. If it opens up and it has any test at 30, I think it's a fade at that price, but it's if it opens up flat, this stock could be a fade still at that $26 level. It's still indicating it's going to open flat, which would be pretty bearish, obviously. It halts up and has this kind of volatility. If it doesn't open any higher than this, I almost have to sell it. I'm going to kick myself over Lucid. I didn't hang on to that one. Thankfully, I did hang on to GameStop. But just going back over to Lockheed, remember I said it looked a little bit weak and we're starting to roll over a little bit. So I said I'm going to go with a break even on this because it didn't feel right. I broke even on the second half, it just slightly less. Actually lost about like 30 or 40 cents, which is a spread on that stock. But I think taking the profit made some sense. If it tests lower, I want to be buying dips, but be very, very patient with it. That market was a bit of a fake out to the open. It happens. Like we kind of were sitting there thinking it might be a fake out, and then that's exactly what happened. Still didn't hold on to all of the shorts like we did yesterday.
Oh man, I'm still honestly like I know we got to move on, but like look at DraftKings right now. That would have been a monster trade for me to the downside, as that one just keeps on spitting and printing cash for all of y'all as well. But whatever, man, we'll go flush down the toilet. See ya, Rivian. And again, a name that we brought to you. We put it on the sticky note. If you're only going to trade one name today, why not let it be Rivian to the downside there? That was a pretty clean break of 60, man. We identified that. We put that right here on Twitter for you guys. Talked about the chart. Talked about the levels right there. Find me on Twitter at TraderTV Sean. And thank you to Shakib. Thank you for everybody for the nice notes. But what I'm not thankful for is IBM right now, as this is spitting down to the bottom. I mean, look, we were thinking that the NASDAQ did have some legs here today, but that's not what's going to happen here. Our average price, $129.50. We're out $1 on IBM. But again, we have a 128 pre-market level that we're trying to play off of. If the market does rally, I'm happy to be sitting here in IBM. So that's basically why I'm doing this. We'll sit here with IBM as MindMed. I guess I was wrong about that one, up to 112 right now.
Yeah, that broke the high. I'm like, that's probably a shot I'll take every single time, and I might take it 10 times if it was sundial, but MindMed just broke out the high. I just got stopped out, and thank goodness, it just went to 113. Sometimes the dollar ends up being support. If it comes back down there and is worth taking a long off one, I might consider doing that. I did get in that Sierra SRRA. It was bearish, like we said. Like it opened, I mean, almost flat, like basically flat. It opened up about 15 cents higher, but that's still below that 26 level we're looking to short. It flushed. I chased it. I was shorting through 25. I was shorting 75. Sorry, I was offering 75s. I was offering 50s. I finally got filled first time at 50s and then got filled again here in the 30s. I just got some out for a 70-cent win. I'm going to hold the rest. Hopefully we can get 22.5 if it tries to push to the downside. If it breaks that, I'm shooting for 20 even and thinking this could come all the way back in. So there have been trades we had. Like there was setups that we liked at the open. Of course, the halt setup is definitely a good one. This one looks like it's going to work out. That APM, which was the other name that had a chance to run, I mean, that's disappointing. I mean, it has not broken the 210 to the downside. It hasn't tested higher. So that's why I'm over here trading SRRA, because you got some serious volatility there. APM, a bit of a disappointment. And I'm going to hold on to GameStop. With the market reversing the way it is, you want to make sure you give these some room. If you got them to the short side, like I wasn't able to hold on to much, I'm not going to give up the one that we got.
There's a sticky note everyone asking for. Yeah, there it is for you guys. Right back there, the sticky note. What about taking some Palantir here as well off of 13? Okay, let's go Rivian, still to the downside. I don't know. We've already cashed out a little bit there. And if the market's going to fall, then, at least we have some Rivian. We do have right now, Palantir just... Darn it, man. We were thinking that we could get, let's take a 10 if we can get it. Again, there we go. Well, against a there it goes. Against a 13 here. We'll see if we can get a 10 against a 13 bid. If it comes through, it comes through. But right now, we're going to go long again on this name. And that is, of course, PLTR. See if it wants to rip up here into the red. Okay, Palantir. I see you here. I'll take some 15s if we can get it. There it is. Yes, sir. More. Let's go here to the upside as Palantir starting to go. Rivian coming back a little bit. AMC going. So yeah, so far so good here today. But Rivian battled all the way back. Let's get out if it breaks 60 back up to the upside. We'll hold this one, but if it breaks 60 back upside, then we can always get out. We put the money in our pocket there for Rivian, but let's watch out. We just need IBM to get going here again. But right now, Rivian breaking back above 60 is our target to get out. And we still do have AMC. We're just holding that one to see where we want to go with that. I can't believe DraftKings still.
Yeah, I did get next leg out on that SRRA, so that continues to make it a little bit of a flush. And going back to the names that we liked, that we didn't hang on to. One of them is going to be Pinterest. It's back below that $30 level, so I think we can play the trade in this range. I tried this price like 70s and then back here at 90s to get an average price at 80. If I can get something along the same lines, just thinking we had that head fake, I'm going to go ahead and try to do that. So first leg will be getting in here in front of VWAP on pins just to get back in, and then if I can get another fill in front of 30, going right back to the well if we just got faked out. I had no problems doing that. And obviously I would have liked to trade that APM, but I might have to throw that one completely in the garbage. There was also, we talked a little bit about DWAC. That also didn't set up. I never got the fill in DWAC, but it's now holding double top at about 67 even. That's the only level I think that can be worthwhile trading in addition to that 69. And I'm going to look back at Lockheed. Like, I think once the market starts to settle a bit, that's a name that I want to try to pick up on bids. But let's see us, try to hold at least a level for a little bit on the futures. We just hit 4,300 on the ES and not showing too many signs of bouncing. If we bounce there, Lockheed could be a play.
Yep. Yeah, I like Lockheed into the defense sector there. IBM looks like, it's trying to go here, but it's still resisting this. We're long at this 50-period moving average, so we're actually even below that right now, 129.50. We're only out 70 cents, but somewhat concerned about this IBM trade. Thought it would have rallied. Obviously, we're seeing this market continuing to puke lower, as crypto's crashing now as well, back down to 36. Ethereum trying to take out 24 as well, so it's not a good one. But again, guys, thank you so much for everything. And thank you for the love on the sticky note. It's really taking off today. So what's up, Brendo?
Pfizer, 1.3% here, holding at day highs, guys. Nice looking chart here as the market's trying to make new lows. We mentioned BioNTech and Pfizer beginning their Omicron-specific trial today. So that was the news for PFE.
We'll do this one. I never get to use this, but you know what? I'm trading Pinterest, so why not use it? And by the way, Mookie Betts with like his 8,300,000 game. Imagine being that good a bowler and like an MVP caliber baseball player. I don't know why that came to my mind, but lining up pins and knocking them down. Sometimes, like, I'm not happy with the fact that I didn't get this rollover in Pinterest and then I got stopped out and took a hit. I'm not happy with taking the hit on Lucid, but when the market did the fake out, you've just got to go back to the plan of action. And the plan of action was to take the rollover in GameStop, Pinterest, and Lucid. I'm going to go 2 out of 3 here because at least I got back into pins. It was too far in my opinion yesterday. I'm sure I could probably pull up Etsy and it wouldn't be that dissimilar, although my guess is, of the 3, Shopify might be doing the best. But if it gets all the way back into the 28 bottom, that's an obvious target. I think you got to look at those wipeout lows from yesterday and think that those could be actionable targets to the downside. Speaking of these lows, GameStop coming right back into its pre-market low in this 94 even. So it doesn't look as sharp of a move, and it has yet to break the barcode that it put in at the open. But I'm holding through this break. I want to see it take out 96. It's 94 from the afternoon that I'm shooting for as a target on GameStop. So I know it's about $4 in the money. I'm trying to see if we can eke out another $1.50 on it. Brendan?
Decent bounce back, I should say, for gold over the past couple of days back to the upside. Just took out that high on the daily chart for GLD here, back to positive anyways, as the market continues to slide here, guys.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like there's opportunities to play the metals, and I guess impending a hike coming, that could be one. But don't count me in as one of the gold fiends. But it is what it is, guys. I don't know if we talked about Peloton. I know it's been obviously a pretty hectic ride here, and I should have added this to the list. We didn't because we had enough names to look at, and trying to pigeonhole Peloton, trying to add this to the list would have been a challenge. But if you can see what happened at 30 at the double top from yesterday, yeah, it just did the spike and fail. So basically the same setup that I'm looking to take a trade on in all of these. Peloton looks like it's also breaking back down. But if you look at like this area here, this $27 area, when it first had things like 27 was pretty key for a couple of days in a row, and yesterday's floor. So if it's going to have a bounce, I'm thinking it's got to be at the 27 area. I want to see if I can't short pops and pins if it wants to give me another look. And then going back to that SRRA, like I said, I got both fills on the reopen, but it still has not broken this opening range bottom at 2240. If it takes that out, I'm looking to get out in front of 20, but the longer it consolidates here, it's only 10% it has to go to halt to the upside. So if it breaks out, it could actually halt without taking out this high. So I want to make sure I'm monitoring this, or like not allowing myself to get caught short if it halts upside. So if it breaks out to the upside, I want to make sure I'm getting out before it makes any kind of a halt.
Larry?
Hey team, thank you for 1,700 likes. If you guys just joined us or simply forgot, please smash the like button as I remind you that our goal for today is 3,000 likes. We have more than 7,000 people watching, so please make your input into the community and make sure you are a subscriber of Trader TV Live channel. Back to you guys.
All right. Thank you, Ms. V, for sure. We are reloaded right now. Let's see where it goes on Palantir. I don't know, the kind of like damage this may do to our account, but we're not going to hold this through this 1288. So we are loaded back up at 13. Rivian goes right back up. So unfortunately, we only netted out the 50 cents there. It does go down to 58.50. We are expecting the market to continue to fall. It's back up. So we'll get out right there smartly, I believe, at $60 flat there on Rivian. Put that money in our pocket, and now let's just move on from that. As here we go. Come on, come alive. Come alive right now, IBM. God. Let's get going. It's back to flat for us. If this thing can come alive, we're going to be huge on this name. So let's see if it wants to get going here. Back upside. IBM now starting to work for us. Now 55 cents in the money. Now starting to go for us is IBM taking out some of these highs, man. We like this level. We also like what Palantir is starting to do right now on a nice move upside to take out some more right there on IBM as we're crossing through. Let's go, man. A nice move up here. Take out some more if we can, 79. And then Palantir tried to get going there. We did take some outs at 05 right now, but we're just trying to take off some of that pressure as, again, another name that we were very, very close to stopping out at right there. But let's go. Nicely done here on IBM. Hopefully that can continue to fly to the high side. And then AMD, I'm actually looking at this 113 to go long. I just wonder if we're overdone a little bit here on AMD. So 113 long, we'll take that. Palantir, AMD, and AMC, and IBM, we're all looking at those. Maybe even a Softie. That Softie's getting cranked right now to the downside, by the way. So that's another name here, breaking maybe through 290, 290.50 maybe here on Microsoft. Could be something, but for right now, I can't go long too many more names as we're already stuck, AMC, IBM, and Palantir. But watch out here, Softie just made a bottom possibly at 287. So we're going to keep our eye out for these names.
Yeah, and I just got into the one name that I was looking to get back into the long with, which is Lockheed. I'm looking at the ES. It was trying to hold up at that 4,300. Actually, in fact, for a couple of seconds, it was doing so. And it started consolidating on Lockheed at yesterday's highs. And I think, okay, go long in front of yesterday's highs. You got the opening range there at 373.50. If it breaks that, you lose a couple of bucks on the trade, which was what we gained before. So keeping it within the bucket, but it looks like we're immediately heading right back down. ES completely reclaims that level almost instantaneously. So I'm gonna get my stop in. I'm not gonna be too stubborn about it with Lockheed. If it's not gonna be an up day, again, it just might be one of those hang on to the shorts. It's not like it hasn't lost yet. We're still in the pocket here, but I'm always planning for the worst, hoping for the best, and taking your plan of action, and then make sure you plan for the worst. I didn't get the reload in pins. I kind of thought that little bounce in the market there, and we're in a consolidation in Pinterest, and I was like, okay, we could get back up to this VWAP, and then I'm just going to continue to short the pops. That actually never happened. It barely got anywhere, which is good for the short. GameStop tried to get back up. I would have reloaded if it got above that 99 area. It did not quite get there as well. So again, just hanging on to what is working. Well, I just pulled up, oh my goodness, I just pulled up Netflix. Oh, come on, get to Netflix. It just broke the low of the day on, come on, load. Just broke the low of the day on Netflix. There you go. Yeah, it just broke the low of the day on Netflix. 375 now into play. This is a name, like it takes us out and starts heading back down towards those lows. The big tech names, you got to watch out for these floors. It's battling at this 375 level. If this does not hold, I think you got another leg down, which might not bode well for the overall market. Hoping that this bounce that we just saw back above that 4,300, this better get me some outs in Lockheed. Brennan, happening now?
Yep.
Hey guys, 10 o'clock. Let's have a look at some negative numbers. I mean, it looks maybe worse than it actually is this morning. We had a gap down and really haven't done anything, just chopping around. S&P leading the way, 2.3. The Dow almost 2% still. All of the Russells, 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 here, solidly negative as well. 2.5 there for both the composite and the NASDAQ 100. Here in Toronto, 1.67 to the downside. Some energy weakness. For the TSX today, we mentioned big tech. There's Facebook, broke the pre-market low, trying to get back into that range right now, but running out of steam, it would appear anyways, for volume-wise anyways. For Meta, NVIDIA back, I mean, they all look very similar here. We break the pre-market low right back to 224, 225. Looks like it might want to roll over as we speak. For NVIDIA, guys, happening now, brought to you by BitGet, the top crypto copy trading platform. Sign up now to earn $158 in rewards. Use the QR code below, guys, for BitGet.
Yes, sir. And I want to thank you, Giovanni, for the super chat. And it's an easy answer for what that wick is on the SPY. I can quickly show you. This is a late reporting dark pool print. Nothing to see here. It's like 364. Obviously, it did not trade down to that price. An easy way to tell, just look at the volume. And if you don't see an obscene volume spike, when you see something like that, then you know it's not true. So late reporting, this could be just a bogus print on the SPY. Do not put any credence into it. Do not use it for key levels or anything like that. It's completely insignificant. So I stopped out of Lockheed. So I try that one. We'll do this. Going back to the well. It felt like it was weak, but look, we bounced off 4,300 temporarily, and that was a name that I wanted to the long side, so I went back to that well. And, battling it twice. I've actually, I shouldn't have gone long that second time, but it fit within the range of what I wanted. I didn't get any more shares of Pinterest. I've got my bid in front of 28. That continues to fall to the downside. So I know it sounds like a broken record, but I'm not going to fight it. Like, I think this is exactly what we did yesterday, where we got like 3 shorts that were holdable, and then kept trying to take pot shots along. Yesterday it was General Motors. That worked a couple of times before ultimately stopping out. Lockheed was the one I wanted today. That just broke. That Netflix 375 just broke back into the downside. So it looks like we're headed southbound again. About the only thing that is missing from my blotter today, Lucid is obviously missing from my, it's not missing from my blotter. I lost on it short. Is Affirm, which oddly enough, has not broken its low of the day, so I'm just kind of taking that with a grain of salt. Somehow showing a little bit of strength. I wanted the 60 level. It hasn't come anywhere near that 60 level, but the longer it holds 55, I guess the better chance it has a chance to break back up here. I don't understand personally how the market's continuing to roll back over and Affirm doesn't want to break the low, but if 55 gets broken down, I'm going to try to short it. It is SSR from yesterday, which means hitting the bid is no guarantee.
What's up, Brendo?
Big move for DWAC there, guys. Was just going to double check, but huge volume spike. Big move up through 70 here for DWAC.
What stock?
That was
DWAC. Okay, so we're into AMD right now. We took a 113, that didn't work. We're averaged in again right down here. So, we're going to play it off this bottom of the day. It looks like the NASDAQ just wants to keep on falling down. Actually, I got to refresh this chart here. As you can see, the triple Qs just keep on going down. Like, we should have data all the way back. Like, I don't know why we're not filling back there. So I don't know if that's the accurate view up, but we'll just refresh that one. This trade back up to the upside if it does go. So I think it's worth the risk here. You got to put some risk on here into the day. So we're going to do that today with this name, AMD, back up to the upside. I do like Microsoft as well. We've talked a little bit about that, but this name just keeps on hitting lower, lower, lower. And the NASDAQ is as well. So we should be short again today, and we're not. So that's really the sucky thing. One more time. I thought that the market may have, not that the market may have bottomed, but that, there was some rally opportunities here today, but obviously off the NVIDIA deal here, AMD wants to continue, and I'm fine holding this. If it goes back down, we're going to break out through this bottom of the day, and then we wait, and we'll try to pounce on something. We said that we would wait for Microsoft and pounce on that, so again, maybe this is the level. I was sort of hoping that we could even fall down even a little bit further and get this 50 period down to where we needed to. It's right now, it's right with VWAP, so downward trend, and we want to try to play the trend, not go against it. So that's the one thing right now that it needs to break these trends, or that's it. So we've already taken a shot here on AMD. I thought we were starting to go higher here, right? Taking out this level, trying to break it, trying to start a new trend. But right now, that's what we're resting our soul on, is going to be AMD, and then IBM, of course, nicely done again, back up to the upside. We were waiting at 128.60, so we missed that bid here on a fall back down. Make sure that's what we were waiting at. No, 128.50 we were waiting at, so we do miss that, but we're taking out again right up here. I think it's prudent to take out one spot. We're already hella long AMD, so if the market rallies, we should come up with some nice trades here. So let's wait to see where IBM goes, but I'm more looking at VWAP up here, 129.60 or 70 to get another piece out here on IBM.
And DWAC is just, it's continuing to boom here. It's going to retest the high any second now. And going back, you just go, obviously you had this turn here at like 72. You can already see on my 15-minute. This spiked to 73 on this move that you're seeing, and then had a monster rollover. That was pre-market though. That's like at 7 a.m., but those are the only levels worth even looking at up here. So I'm kind of looking at 72, 73 if I'm going to fade it, but without necessarily knowing, exactly what's going on. Like, that's a monster spike. Pins made another leg down, and I'm still going to stick with getting out in front of 28. Now, those wick bottoms, it's not a ton to work off of here, but those wick bottoms in yesterday's action, it was such a rally that if I can take it out and grab, $1.50 on this trade, maybe a little bit more than that, I'll be perfectly happy doing it. It wasn't perfect on Pinterest, 230 even, but at least we got back in. That's the only saving grace. But Brendan, anything on DWAC?
I haven't seen much, guys. There was a tweet from Sarah Fisher there just suggesting still on track, the launch still on track for late February, early March now, they're saying. So nothing official, but yeah, nice move here for DWAC.
All right, well, that's good. I mean, no news sometimes is better.
Yeah, I mean, it's
better
not
than
bad.
saying it's not happening, I guess.
Yeah, that's true.
But okay, those of you that are with DWAC, it's been a fun ride. We're not on that right now. I told you we'd try to go a little bit less names today, so we're into 4 right now. We've got a 30-cent winner on just because of this trade, though. AMC's really done nothing. We were just lucky enough to be sitting down here protecting that 1550 level, so that was a good one for us. IBM is close. We're at 60 right now, so hopefully it rips up and hits us at 60 through. There it goes, through 60, so that's going to be a good trade for us right there. IBM trying to make new moves here, $1 in the money on that name. And look, if you don't know what I do on Palantir, then, look at this. Look, I mean, this is kind of crazy. We're sitting here at 05s, in between 05 and 10. Every single time it pops up, we are taking pieces out, hoping, I mean, they're just small pieces, hoping that eventually it runs up. So we're still waiting back down here at 95 to get a reload on this name. But for right now, honestly, my biggest position by far is AMD. And it looks like I don't know. I mean, we could keep getting it out up here at 50 and take the 25-cent win, but that's not what happens with AMD, right? We were hoping that this could start to go right now, hopefully start to go right now, and then, maybe we have some kind of a bottom. I don't think we have the ultimate bottom. I mean, we're not trying to say AMD just retraces from here and rips up. Damn it, right at that spot again. I'd like for that to happen, but there it goes. Keeps on stopping at 112.50 or so. So let's maybe get a little bit out here on AMD. And I just don't know. It's not moving. We're at 49 actually on AMD. So let's put it right here there we go. So we'll take it out at 48. And here it goes. AMD starting to rip up to the upside. So far so good here.
Yeah, and I just got into DWAC at 72. Made a break at that 72, slammed back down. On the way back down, I get into it. 73 was that level on the 15-minute that we looked at, and it's about the only thing for resistance. If it does a nice little cluster up here and breaks back out, when you looked at that 15-minute, it would set up for a breakout. But if there's a level that I think I can try shorting it, it's got to be in here because at least I know where I'm wrong, and I think that's always the starting point for me. Through that 73 is gonna make a lot of sense. SRRA, that's Sierra. I really have to watch out for this because this is now the second time that it's barcoded and tested the 2330. I've actually tightened the stop. I put a stop back in here that if it takes out 24, I'm just gonna automatically get out because that one's definitely gearing up to set me up for a little bit of pain. And then APM, which wasn't doing anything, finally broke that 210 on this capitulation candle. So this is the pre-market lows here on that APM. I just got in short at 209, so it finally makes a bit of a move here on APM. So the position's starting to come in rapidly. I'm going to take some out in front of 2 even because it's a round number, and then from there, like every 5 to 10 pennies, going to be trying to take some profit on APM. That's a mover from yesterday as well.
APM, okay. We're still watching out here for AMD as it just doesn't want to go. Like I wish it did, guys. But right now we are having some problems getting out of this trade. Needless to say here, as AMD it tried to go. We took out some there at 50. At least we identified that 50 level, and we're able to get something out there. So far so good on that one. But I don't know. It's really struggling. But what name's not struggling right here is IBM. IBM continues to make moves to the high side now. 130.30. This is a good enough level for me. Didn't even realize it was up that high. Let's get another piece out here on IBM upside as it's starting to break a little bit here as the futures might have made a bottom. So let's wait to see if that's the case. Yahoo for that. Palantir still though at the bottom. So right now we're kind of just dancing around with some of these trades, guys. IBM $1.70 in the money. Good. Here it goes. So this is a well worth hold. It looks like right now for us on IBM. So it's right up to 130.60. A nice move right back to pre-market. These are the levels that we like. We started buying it. We got a little spicy with it early. We're going to learn our lesson from that. So here it goes. Upside right now for IBM. A good trade, $2 in the money.
Yeah, and just seeing some of these names start to try to make a little bit of a bounce here. Worth noting one that we usually are looking at on a daily basis. I mean, come on, I'm literally all short, and I can't even find like one long if we make a bottom, but I'm trying to be patient. SoFi is a name that is relatively strong today. It's down 2.5%. But from its breakout in the morning, it's actually held 1280. So the breakout pre-market high, it's now held that level again. If it tries to bounce off 1280 and the futures can level off, that's one that does set up. But I'm not jumping into it just yet. Like we just added 2 shorts to the list here, and it feels like we're still heading southbound. And APM and Sierra are probably the ones I think that have the most, I guess, volatility risk in terms of what they can do to us. That isn't a DWAC, but DWAC, as I say that, DWAC just got the first leg out, and if I can get the rest at VWAP, that's all I'm looking for. You find that first level, it fails a break, get back in when it slams back down. It did retest the top after I got back in, but only got halfway. So I'll adjust my stop, get the rest of my bid out in front of it. Looks like 69.5, so forget about 70 even. I'll probably throw like a 69.75 area bid on DWAC. From now, it can't turn into a loser unless I get very, very, what's the word? If I get greedy and don't leave my stop in there, or at least adjust it for a new order there. There we go. To make sure that I take my stop if it breaks the high, but this now can't turn into a losing trade. I wanted to get into a firm that still has yet to break the bottoms. With the market trying to bounce and the fact that I have a few too many shorts, that's not too many shorts, but I don't need the exposure of adding to these positions by taking a short through the low of the day on a firm. So I've canceled my stop at 55 on a firm. It still has not broken the low, which is a little bit strange to me. So we're going to bank the profits that we have while hanging on to what I think are better shorts, somehow better shorts than a firm.
Yeah, and honestly, man, we got out of AMD there. We're trying to buy some more back in there, but right now, AMD definitely to the downside. We'll get out if it cracks the low again. We'll try one more time, but it is really low. Considering what IBM, it's just too bad I picked the wrong stock again right there, but it's just too bad because IBM's starting to go, Palantir's starting to go again off of a nice little reload one more time, back up to 07. We'll take this bid if we can get it. There it is, 06s, 05s. Oh, we missed it. Oh, no, we didn't. We got it. We punched 05 downside. So there's another reload there on Palantir. So pretty happy with that one. Let's see where it goes now, though. It looks like it's trying to go to the downside, but here we go. A little pop and drop action right here for that. And this, we like Meta, Facebook right here. If Facebook can get going through these levels of 299.80 or so, I like this. You know, again, is the market bottoming here? I mean, that's all that we really have to worry about. If it bottoms, do we like some of these names? And the answer is yes. We've seen what they did yesterday. Unfortunately, AMD just fell down the other way. Okay, well, now it's not unfortunate because now it's right back up. So we do have this long. We're making a little bit of money back here. So let's do that as it's starting to go back upside here on it. I can't believe we get stopped out there at that bottom. Thank God we were able to buy some back in. Here we go. New position alert. Facebook as well. So yeah, we're rocking and rolling as a lot of these names starting to go to the upside. Let's cash out of some more AMD just in case. But there we go, a new Facebook trade, AMD trade as well. Facebook starting to go 50 cents in the money.
Yeah, you're starting to get an actual rally in some of these names. As much as we took profit on GameStop and want to hold on to the rest of it, if it reclaims the high, like there's no way I'm going to get stubborn about it. It just retested up here at 101, then pulled back about $1. If it breaks out from here, I'm getting the heck out of Dodge on that. And this is why I didn't want that affirmed, because it just somehow relatively strong. You just can't ignore the fact that bounced now twice off this 55 low as the market's trying to make another leg up. So I'm not flipping into the long in some of the more beat up names, but in terms of looking for quality, if this is a chance, like SoFi is still right off of that 13 level with that 1280 lower high. So I can start thinking about that one in front of 13 for now. That's just the name that stuck out to me in terms of some of the levels to look at. But GameStop just broke 101. It'll be a winning trade because we took profits, but starting to break back into this upside. So the longs hopefully starting to come back in. If this consolidation forms a temp bottom, I want to see if we can take further profits in some of the working shorts and work into longs that we like. Lockheed, however, that's it doesn't feel strong enough yet to go back into the buy.
Awesome. And bang right now because Facebook ripped up, man. We got $1 on that name, guys. $1 on Facebook as it ripped up. We're still holding some just in case as it starts to go to the upside. We're actually holding half a little bit less than half, 40% of our Facebook as that's starting to rip up to the upside. Palantir goes boom as well, back up to the upside. And you know what else happens, guys? While you're gone and we're just chilling out, what happens now to AMC? Look at this trade, AMC rocking and rolling. Man, today is a good day and it's about to get even better. What's up, Ms. V?
Hey guys, we got a super chat from our friend Russell Jackson in Australian dollars saying, bringing home the bacon with the futures, floss it. Thank you so much, Russell. So happy to hear you're having a great day. You better put bacon on me. And guys, if we can hit floss it animation for Russell would be great.
You want it? You got it, because I got it right here. Let's floss it off. Look at these longs we have on. Today, Revenge Day, market, let's go, man. AMD, 75 cents in the money. Wish we still had that bottom, but we don't. Facebook, $1 in the money, and just more than $1 in the money. What am I talking about? $1.25 in the money and ripping up. $1.50 in the money on that one. How about this name, guys? $2.60 in the money on IBM. Big name there. How about this one? Palantir. And like Neil and I will trade different strategies, guys. Obviously, scalping some of those names, great. We always do that on Palantir. Sometimes, though, for me, I got to hold a little bit. So here goes Palantir up to 19s again. And it's very, very easy. All my trades very, very structured. So I hope that you're able to take these as well today. We stuck back a little bit yesterday, did some homework, and it's definitely paying off here today as let's go Palantir to the upside. 13.20. This is not a bad spot. We've bounced off here a couple times. Let's take some risk off if it goes back through 13.16.
Yeah, and just quickly looking back, I got into one long. We talked about the one that we liked, SoFi, because of the higher low breakout, hold support level there. The market's still making a decision at this point, so I want to make sure if I'm getting more, it's got to be at a better price. If I'm using that 1280 as my support level, I mean, I might get a chance at a firm at 60, certainly. I can tell you, DWAC was interesting because on that little spike to the upside, I fully anticipated that the market was going to take this into the breakout. I didn't reload in this, and I don't think reloading the shorts is necessary at this point. Like, it's either going to work or it's not. We've already turned this so it can't be a losing trade. And the same thing with pins. Like, it's just the market's at a decision point, but if you pick the names that are relatively weak, that continues to form just an obvious downward trend, and I don't think it's broken back out unless it gets above like 29.30 or so. So this continues to work out pretty well, and I have no trouble holding on to that one. SRRA, that's that Sierra stock. It tried to get up to 24. I told you guys I had moved the trail to $24. Like, sometimes you got to be lucky. And this went right to 24 even before flushing on an absolute dime. It's back down $1.50. That feels like a capitulation, so that 20 bid could come into play. But really, that was 1 penny away from stopping me out. My trail was at 24. I had moved it from that halt price all the way down to 24 even. Might have just got pretty lucky there.
Okay, yeah, so we're trying not to get too lucky and trying to like strategically get out of this Facebook, but it does go all the way up to 302. We are actually looking at this level, 302.50, but you know, we've already cashed out on Facebook now 70%, so we have 30%. We just took out another piece right there. It just blew up instantly for us, so we right away took the dollar on that trade, so now we're gonna wait to see where it goes. IBM, we just took another piece out right here, 15s or 20s, so that's gonna be a good trade. That's $3 in the money. Palantir, did it just break? Yes? No, it didn't. We got something out there at 16, and I don't know. I think we still have a 14 to go here. If it breaks down below, we will get some more out at 14. And what we're trying to do right now is just clock these trades out. Look at this. Money. Coming through for us on AMC, as that's going to be a big trade today, man, for us. This was lucky, though. There's no doubt about that. I mean, you know, we put the order in. I think just as lucky as we are on AMC, we were just as unlucky here on DraftKings as that ticked us down. So it's almost like just reverse it and put it down here, and that would be our AMC trade. So it's nice to be lucky a little bit. The future's now starting to come back in, so we're gonna watch out here. Facebook coming back in, trying to dance with VWAP a little bit here. So let's take a piece out if we do break that. We don't want to hold this all the way back down in case the Nasdaq, you know, does crack again to the downside. This is still 70 cents in the money, so that might be worth taking here, as it looks like the market's starting to fade out a little bit. We got to make sure we capture some of these profits, guys, which we already have. So on that note, it's been a great day, but we haven't traded. I've never really traded small caps unless they're popping off. So let's see what Brennan did today with SRRA, I think.
Sierra.
Hey guys, yeah, quiet morning so far for small caps. We'll touch on a few here that we're moving around in the pre-market. This SRRA, as Neil was mentioning, that's 24, top end of this range. I mean, that's really all you need to know. It broke it a couple of times, but is still below. So SRRA below 24. We'll see if it tests the low. Otherwise, APM, same story, kind of chopping around, not doing much. That's 250 from the pre-market. Tagged it a couple of times and failed. Does seem to be finding some support over here where we got to yesterday, late in the day in front of 2. If it gets below 2, 150, definitely doable for APM, guys. Back to you.
Like, we're just commenting, like, So when I put the stop in GameStop, of course, saying, look, if it breaks 101, I'm just out of the trade. It goes straight $4. Like, I mean, straight up $4. This is why you got to have an out, because when they start to go, like, I wasn't shooting at 105. Like, it might turn around at 105, and that's an even number. But, like, that wasn't on my radar this morning. Obviously, it's going to stand out in the 15-minute, but I was playing the lower end of the range. So if I was quicker, maybe I could have got over to it and thought about that 105. Pin still looks pretty good. I can tell you DWAC came right back into target. So this one, and the reason why I'm going to take it in the range on DWAC is these aren't the levels that I was looking at on the open in DWAC. It just made a huge spike on a tweet, and so we played the action off of that. We looked at the 73 level. When it failed off of that, we took the short. That's just a pure retracement play right into both VWAP, but also this little 69 level on the first move into the upside. So get in, get out, take your profit and run was the name of the game there. Not going to hold on to it like I will Pinterest. And, you know, you're seeing a battle happen over here in the market. Now, this is what we're talking about. Like, we bounced off 14,000 on the NASDAQ, and then we're kind of not barcoding, but consolidating here. And the same thing's happening right at 43 on the ES. So if you got something which is with the trend in either directions, like, this is the kind of place where it's not that you dig in. You just say, you don't have to do anything. Like, if my shorts are working, those are still okay in this range, then I'm going to give them some room to work. And if SoFi is going to be the long that I like, and it's above that 1280, well, then I'm going to hang on to it and not panic as the market tries to jiggle around and work itself out. If we break lower, well, I'll probably be trailing out of some of my shorts and holding long in SoFi, and vice versa if the market decides to go in the other direction. I'm still eyeballing Affirm, but I don't really see too much with that 55. Inside of the range is just going to be frustrating for me. And then the one that's going to not peeve me off a little bit, but I think was misread is going to be Lockheed. Like, I really thought this would be a name that worked today, and it's just been like Jiggle City. Like, it gave you the breakout trade. I only got the back in when it reloaded at 378, and then I took one shot right in the middle here, and that's what I don't like about it. If I lost going long at the bottom, which would have happened, it would have been exactly the same hit. Like, the actual spread is the same move, but I actually would like it a heck of a lot better because it would have meant that I was patient with it. So even if I had lost at the bottom, no difference to my net, but it would have meant a little bit more discipline down here on Lockheed. And it's still up on the day, but barely. I mean, it's up 0.1%, so a bit of a disappointment for Lockheed.
All right. AMD, we reloaded on this one, so we'll see if we can move now to the upside. We'll see if we can smoke a good one with AMD. I don't know. I mean, we are ready to get taken out there, but that was a nice reload back, or I guess not a reload. I guess it was. Yeah, we emptied our clip there, and then we reloaded it back up to the upside. So let's wait to see where we go on this one. But AMD still rocking and rolling. I still remember when I fired off an AK-47 in Vegas, you know, those weapons not necessarily allowed here in Canada. I suggest, Neil, when you go, that's a pretty fun thing to do. Facebook right now. Okay, so Facebook comes down. We take one piece out there when it does break back below for profit again. When it breaks below VWAP, we didn't need to worry about it tanking all the way back to the downside. 301, 302, 303, still targets here for that name. And AMD, man, the weakest name here. I thought I was getting out if it broke below 50, but I guess, it's right here. It's going to come out in a minute. AMD looks like it wants to come out now. This name just weak. We know the ARM deal with NVIDIA not going well. Those Xilinx should be fine. There it comes to the downside. So we're not going to look at AMD anymore. It's just way too weak considering, 4.5 here when the Qs is down 2.5 or 3 now. Wow, the market is tank city right now. Whoa. We got to get out of some of these. Look at IBM though. Trade the best names, guys. Pigs get slaughtered, which is why we got out of this one. But look at IBM. You want to talk about something that's on the sticky note? It's literally my #1 idea on the sticky note. So definitely have a look at that along with our watch list, guys, every single day because there's lots of information all over the place. But IBM, we really, really like that one up to 132 now, taking out day's high as the market goes and makes near new lows. So I definitely like this trade here. And Palantir still 8 cents in the money, looking for a reload down here sub 13.
Yeah, that was like the second you said whoa, in that split second, like 2 of my shorts went further in the money, and then SoFi filled me on the bid out of nowhere. Like SoFi was above VWAP, clinging to that 1305 area, and next thing I know, I'm getting more shares long at 95 in front of 1280. So I did got the second leg in. Average price is pretty much exactly where I'd want it at 13 even, 1301 technically. But if we break this, it's 1280 level, we'll just get out of it. Like I said, this is the one I like into that long side, and we'll see what happens at that same moment. Further spike down, breaking the low on SRRA, that worked for us. APM, which is the other small cap, That started rolling back over in front of $2. I've taken out the shares I'll take out in front of $2, and now I'm going to hold for a little bit lower. And then the other one, the only one that didn't make a big spike down there when I got the fill on SoFi was Pinterest. So it still works in the money, but oddly enough, catching a bit of a bid on Pinterest, so I got to watch out for this. I mean, the market now starting to rally back into the upside, so SoFi is starting to work. Thankfully, that last little flush got me fills in the bids, with the exception of Pinterest. But SoFi, I got to start thinking about where we want to take some of the profit up here. I got offers every 10 cents from 15, 25 to 35, and then try to hold some to a potential break of the day. A high of the day, I should say, at 13.50. And why do you want to hold some for the break? Look at this high. Double top yesterday at about 13.35. Previous support at 13.35. It takes this level out. You want to be holding on to something. You saw the rally yesterday. But if you see levels like this for a breakout, you got to have a piece on board if some of these names are going to hold higher lows and try and break back out. And I'd much rather hold the long in something like this than try breakouts in, I think, names which don't work as well overall as companies. Not the fundamentals matter too much, but if you got to pick your spots in the longs in these markets, then I don't think it's a mistake to do that. That's all I'm getting at.
Yeah, and we're just crushing these longs right now. AMC 80 cents in the money, Facebook $1.50 in the money, IBM. I mean, I came back from getting a coffee earlier, and we weren't even talking about IBM, and I made sure that we talked exactly about IBM. IBM right back down in. We take that pre-market bottom. Oh yeah, you know what? Let's get Tony the Tiger on board here, because Tony the Tiger, I walk by him with my coffee and I go, just get long IBM. Correct, Tony? Correct, Tony. So there it is. So Tony right there, $5 in the money. Hopefully you are on IBM. Yeah, you know it, Gregory there. Tony with a nice trade, hopefully. There he is. Tony, give a thumbs up there, Tony. There he is. You can't really see. Move your head forward a little bit there, Tony. Move your head a little bit more. More forward. There you go. That's good enough. They can see you. Good. Thank you, Tony. He takes the trade there. IBM long. At least Tony ringing the register with me today as well. So good job there, my man, as we're taking out new highs, 133, still Rip City. Oh yeah, by the way, as we talk about Tony the Tiger, what's up, Tony the Tiger? We go, what's up with this one as well. As we hit the slap shot on Facebook, we take that trade one time, and now that's ripping upside as well. So yeah, man, we're bringing the energy and we're bringing the bangers to you today, guys. What a big day it is. I hope you're enjoying the show.
Yeah, absolutely. And this market looks like it wants to get back to the upside. We've now made that run. So it's about to get first fill here. I'm not changing the plan on just about anything. It's only pins that concerns me. But you got to start thinking about some of the breakouts that we're setting up before that never quite hit. And one of them, I hate to say it, but DWAC. I got out of DWAC. Like I said, I took my profit, but it holds the top end of the range. You saw Brendan come with the news that they got a little bit of an update, but that 73, if it's a good level for a short, it's a good level setting up for a potential breakout. So as long as we can hold some of these highs, specifically that 70 area, you are set up for a 73 break on a DWAC. Going back to a name that was dying, Peloton trying to get back to the upside. It bounced off 28 even. It's set up pretty well for a 30 level. If it can get back up to that one on consolidation, long way to go here for that name, but 30 certainly a key level there. I just got first fill on SoFi, so apparently the shorts I'm holding are going to work and the long that we tried are going to work out. Sometimes that's going to happen to you in the market if you can pick the right names. Looks like we've managed to do that here today. And lastly, Affirm. There will be no reverse long in Affirm for me. I can tell you if it gets up to this level here, which is about $59 in front of 60, I'm probably going to try and fade it at that level. So I know I was just talking about stocks that are getting back to the upside and trying some longs. Affirm for me is just a short till it's not. I think it's not crazy to say that 50 was a pretty solid bottom for it, but it really needs to extend a breakout through 60 even before I think about changing what I'm doing on a day trading level for this one. Brendo.
Just saw the ADR for Ericsson pop up there. They had better than expected earnings as well. So on the NASDAQ there, Eric, day highs, guys, volume coming in up 7%.
Got out of our AMD a little bit too soon here, as it just took out huge highs. Their nice trade for AMD, if anyone was able to hold on to that one. It touched too low too often. We've just got scared the last couple days on what's been happening with the market, so we didn't want to hold it too long. It's a green day for us, so very, very hard to complain as MyMed's starting to come back down as well. 108 right now, that's starting to come in. Just looking for some more names here. I mean, we loved Facebook. We identified that. We take that break, and now we're $2.50. Sorry, $2 in the money. It's $4 in the money for this trade, the Tony the Tiger trade through IBM right there. And look, if you want to get these trades going, man, it's exactly why you want to hit up that sticky note as it just continues to be a moneymaker. And thank you so much for everybody and all the love on that one as we just continue to rock and roll. It's 10:30 and it's Brendan time.
Direct back to session highs here, pre-market highs anyways. 225, more volume for SDC, up 10% as well. Let's get a quick check on how things are shaping up over in Europe, Miss V. Red again.
It is red again, Brandon, but markets are higher following their worst sell-off since July 2020 yesterday. Logitech, primarily listed in Switzerland, is up more than 5% after raising its earnings outlook in the current fiscal year. Back to you.
Yeah, you can check out that ADR as well. Having a pretty good day in the US, LOGI, guys.
Yeah, and starting to roll back over some names here. Just looking at that Smile Direct Club myself, because like some names have been beaten up so badly that these prices, like these are trading at levels at almost like $2. You get to that even level. Come on, give me a break. It was just loaded up. What's going on, Smile Direct? Okay, so that chart's hating me. But if it breaks $2, I think that's going to be a key one for it. SoFi is getting real close to a reload. If we can catch this one near where we got it before, continuous lower highs right off that 13 level. I got first target in. So if we're going to continue this pattern, I can try to reload right here where we got it before. Average price, I should say, at $13 even. And last entry was at 95. But if it continues lower highs, I'd add one more time in front of 13 right here and then see if we can't continue to scalp this one out. It's forming a bit of a wedge, so it could do a breakout trade at 13.20, but I'd much rather be buying the dips on this name and just playing inside of this range if we can. Of course, the second I say that and put a bid in, you're going to see it start to try to run away from my price. If you're looking at that SRRA, it's putting another floor in, but this time at $22. It breaks this. I think the capitulation could be in. I am going to move my stop at this point because the more it grinds to the downside, it's a $22 name. It really only has to go $2.20 too quickly for it to halt to the upside, but I don't even want it testing 24. I think if this gets to 23, I'm just going to lock in the $1 worth of profit on the last of these shares and then put a trail a little bit lower. So it either breaks 22 down, we get an extra $2 out of this, or it's going to trail back up at 23 even. I think that works for me on this SRRA. And back over to pins because this market continues to want to run. Well, I mean, try to run, I should say. Hopefully I get that leg in SoFi for the reload. If this does not get back above 29.25, I want to be reloading off VWAP here. So some names are getting a bounce back into the upside. As you can see, not all. And those are the ones that you want to be shorting on the pops.
Oh, man. We must have missed out Microsoft as well. Now, IBM taking out new day highs as well through 133. That might be enough. I mean, I don't know. We'll see. I feel like the market can still go, and we want to be in these names. So that's what we're doing right now is Palantir. I mean, this could easily be the trade of the day as well. Just hitting these bottoms. It will probably be IBM or whatever. We'll discuss it after. But, hitting these bottoms on Palantir and then just taking them out. This is exactly how I want to trade this. The thing is, I should have taken that break right there on the 50 period because the market started to rally. That would have been an 08 up to 22s or whatever. We just got filled. So that was definitely a missed opportunity on that one. A quick little check-in on crypto today. Let me just refresh the portfolio page here and have a quick look. So last night we got some more Solana sub 90, but not much sub. It was like 89.50, something like that. Cardano bouncing off $1. That's looked really nice on a chart. It's just I'm very, very I'm already in Cardano and Ethereum pretty heavily. Bitcoin not as much. And I'm trying to build a position in Solana. So that's why I'm really focusing on those ones. I do realize Polkadot is a good value down here as well at $18, sub 20. But again, when you look at some of these market caps, and you think if you like what Solana is doing and what the NFT game and what there goes, by the way, let's talk about this afterwards because there goes Facebook right now, $3 in the money, $3 in the money on Facebook. The diamond hands is in the building right now for this move, as this is a nice move to the upside. $3 in the money here as Facebook continues to run. It just touched that 303. That might have been I don't know what happened there, but that just exploded right there to the upside. So that's a good trade for us. Let's see if Facebook wants to continue to work. I want to hold this one. We've already made a lot of money back from yesterday on these longs today. So, I mean, I think it's worth it at this point to see about holding on to it. Palantir dropping a little bit here as well. We can look at Twitter trying to make some moves back. I really did say we want to pounce on Microsoft if and when it makes a bottom. What just happened there? Something got out there. Oh, Palantir just ripped up there as well. A nice out for No, it didn't. Sorry, Palantir got longer down there. Right. Okay, so we got to cancel this trade. This is not the type of trade that we want. Looks like we were sitting down here at this level, but with the market not crashing, but looking like it wants to take out the 50 period now, this might not be a great long here for Palantir. So let's think about getting a little bit out here.
Yeah, and I went back and looked at Macy's because Macy's, again, showing incredible strength. Obviously, you know about the short interest in this name. We talked about some upper levels at about $28, $27.80 specifically on the 15-minute, but if you go back even further to the beginning of the year, $28 with a couple of breaks. It just got to $27.77, so close to that 80 level, and it's starting to put a bit of a curl in. You see the wick up, fading at that level on the 15-minute, which I guess I can just show you instead of talking about it. This is that level going back to the 13th. So much like DWAC, you get a breakout, you get a consolidation lower. The risk to reward's going to work here if I can catch it. Of course, as I just moved away from my level 2 and came back to it. We'll try to get short there at 27.65 off of that high of the day. Oh, goodness, I don't want to chase it, but that's kind of what I'm looking for. Like, you get that wick up, failure at a key price level, and then I'm just looking to re-engage the short. Speaking of which, Affirm just took out the low of the day at 55 even, so that continues to be weak.
Yeah.
And I tried getting more Pinterest. It just didn't quite get there. So that continues to work to the short side, but I've been unable to reload Pinterest. It just will not give me the right fill. SoFi, I did get the reload in the long. Obviously, as things come back into the downside and they start to work in the money, whoops, that's Smile Direct. SoFi comes right back in to that 13 even, so I reloaded on SoFi. It's going to be an interesting day because the market's shown some signs of a bit of a bounce, and that's maybe not going to be reflected in the board as we go to Sector Watch with Brendan.
Hey guys, yeah, I just walked up here and Lucas said, wow, that's worse than yesterday. Yeah, it looks pretty bad, to be honest with you right now. There's IBM, there's AXP, there's ZION, and there's Gap. That's about it. Everything else is pretty negative once again, right across the entire board here. Tech stocks here, industrials here, the entire group's pretty much in negative territory. It's the hardware equipment makers leading today. We saw the semiconductors yesterday leading, but this group here, the hardware equipment makers, the worst off so far today. Consumer discretionary stocks, I just mentioned Gap, really the only one showing any signs of life. 1.5%, in fact, for Gap to the upside. Etsy, on the other hand, here 5.5% lower. eBay, Pool as well, about 4% to the downside. Healthcare stocks getting hit once again. This is the communication services group. Netflix in that one. Material stocks are there. There's Netflix right there, 3.75% to the downside. Consumer staples as well. I mean, take your pick. It's red right across the entire board. 2% right now, basically, for the S&P. As I said, IBM, AXP, and ZION. That's about it, guys.
I mean, the board, we were just talking about that. I mean, yeah, the market's getting clapped today, guys. We're down 2.3% on the NASDAQ, and we're down on the ES 1.9%. I mean, it's not, I didn't expect anything on that board to be green, but it is nice to see some names, including, you know, I don't know, is IBM even green today? Yeah, up 2%. So, you know, we picked the strongest name for you here today, up 2.5%. We're loving some IBM right now on this move upside. So we still have a small piece. We're just going to let it relax here. I mean, we're not going to get out when the market tanks out of IBM. But wow, okay, Facebook's all the way back up. I just put an offer. Like I was like, you know what? Maybe let's just get out at 302.50 if it comes back upside one more time. But that may just happen, and I'm going to cancel it. I don't even want to get out up there. So let's just see what happens now with Facebook as it just reloaded itself right at VWAP and then just took off to the upside. So we really, really like Facebook. I love Meta here. It's one of the best stocks for me for a longer term spot right now. Besides some of those crypto plays, I do like those plays. And what I was getting at here is if you like, you know, the metaverse and things like that, Facebook right now has a market cap of $1 trillion. So, you know, and then you look down, and this is where I look and say, if you like some of the projects that these guys are working on, you know, it's only 29 billion. Look, it's a lot considering where these have come from. But if you like some of these projects, and I encourage everybody to find out, you know, who's working on what and what you like. Stellar has a good money transfer protocol as well. So there's lots of stuff happening here. If you like this, I still think there's a lot of room to run on some of these. Like, you know, Bitcoin's 700 billion, Ethereum 300 billion. Like, they're still far away from Facebook. Like, if I like Facebook at $1 trillion, I mean, you know, why not like Ethereum? Bitcoin, I mean, Bitcoin's not building an ecosystem like Ethereum is, but why not take advantage of some of those plays as well? So, hey, get long. I mean, we could check out for HUT. I mean, like I said, I'm buying the coins now instead, but I do hold some HUT, and that's getting not killed today, but down another 3% as HUT started off nice. Not much volume here for me to do anything with this, but HUT 8, another name if you like mining in some of those alt coins.
Yeah, some market's starting to roll back, so the reload on SoFi, we'll see. It might break that 1280. Only gave me one leg of profit, so I took a quarter out and then just got back into it. I did get into Macy's. It finally gave me that look. I tried, like you guys were, I tried shorting it when it put the wick up there, failing at 27.77. It comes right back in to the same price. So I get a bit fortunate in getting the same price that I was chasing before up at 65, 66. So I am short. I'll scalp it to 51s and then to 40s and then down here to 27.25. But again, I'm just trying to play the range. This has been one of the strongest names in the market the last couple of days and strong in the sector. You see gap up as well. But I'm not shooting for the home run down at 27 even. It looks like we're going to get probably back down towards the lows. I mean, if we get back to 43 on the ES, I feel like Pinterest probably retests these lows, but I'm not going to shoot a gift horse in the mouth. If it bounces again off 28.50, then I'm going to accept that maybe it only wants to give me $1 on this trade. I should be happy with that because, you know, it's a $30 stock at the end of the day, so I shouldn't be fighting it too hard. And Affirm, which I'm not really done with this stock just yet, but this is why I didn't want to short the breakdown at this price. It breaks 55, traps, and now you're sort of stuck in this as the momentum is dying down. And the market, for the most of its part, yeah, we're down 2%, but we're not really breaking in either direction. So we've had a little bit of bounce off the lows, and shorting at the bottom is not what I want to do. If you have something in the money, that is a far cry from shorting some of these names at the bottom. That's why I went over to Macy's. If I'm going to put something on new, as we're about to, you know, throw you guys in 15 minutes to Trader Prad for Market Movers, if I'm putting on something new, it's got to be moving right now. Like drifting towards the bottom and trying to trap you with the low on Affirm. As much as I like shorting Affirm, I don't feel like that's the right way to go in this current environment as we're sitting in. Because if we're just going to sit here until the afternoon as the Fed meets, you know, I don't want to be getting caught and wicked in and out of trades ad nauseum.
Yeah. No, guys, nothing's going to come from the Fed today, but yeah, I mean, you know, this is what the market's tipping on right now. We do have an interview coming up. We're really excited about that. And again, remember when I got this fill, I was like, this is a mistake. So we did get some out there. I wish we should be long 96 right now. Unfortunately, we were long 01s because of this. So, you know, that did come back in, but we are very, very aware of this 89 breaking spot down here on Palantir. So if the market does come back in, we will give up some of our profits here on PLTR as we've just like absolutely took this name for a nice little ride here when it was doing this, but it is now tipping down near some of these bottoms. So just to make sure, yep, we do have a risk order out there to get out. It's all about risk management. I mean, you know, this could rip up, and if it does, great, we have it. But at the same time, if it comes back down, here it comes right back to flat. We have to make sure that we do have some risk ready to get taken off if and when this does come back to the downside. And on that note, it's starting to rip up a little bit. We should took some out maybe 2s or 3s there, but we're going to wait to see what happens with Palantir. Facebook right now, $3 in the money as well, as that's taking out highs. But what an exciting day here in the market, and it's about to get better with our guest of the day.
All right, thanks so much, guys. INX Digital, brand new as of yesterday, in fact, listing on the NEO Exchange here in Toronto. We're very happy to have Chief Business Officer Douglas Borthwick with us today to tell us a little bit about the company. Douglas, great to have you. Welcome. This is an exciting day, obviously, yesterday. Congratulations, first off, on the listing. A lot of similarities here to the Coinbases of the world. Talk us through the platform, talk us through the business, the first regulated digital trading platform for cryptocurrencies, derivatives soon to come as well. Great to have you. Welcome.
It's great to be here. Thank you very much for having us. You know, INX is a name that's not very well known in Canada because we don't do any business in Canada, but certainly in the United States, what we've done is we worked with the SEC for about 950 days to do the first ever security token offering our IPO in the blockchain. We raised about $85 million about a year ago and used that to then buy a broker dealer, an ATS, a transfer agent. We also got into the cryptocurrency trading business where you can operate in 31 US states and territories. We also bought an interdealer broker. Our aim is to offer digital assets from all the way from retail all the way to institutions. We deal with something like 50 plus tier 1 banks. We also deal with individuals, but not only do we let them do cryptocurrency like a Coinbase, but also digital securities, which is a new thing, and you probably haven't heard much about them, but they're about to really take off. The SEC has said in public interviews that in the next 3 to 5 years, all assets, that's all trades that are sitting there on exchanges that you're trading today, will trade on the blockchain. And if that's the case, they said that about a year ago. So 2 to 4 years, everyone's going to be trading on the blockchain, your equities, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We're an exchange that doesn't sleep. We're the only security on our security token that trades in the United States that's open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. And our belief is that soon you'll be able to trade equities, you'll be able to trade securities, you'll be able to trade cryptocurrencies, all of it, all the time, 24 hours a day. So you'll have to turn your name over to 24 Trader TV because it's about to go global in 24 hours.
Hey, listen, that's something that we would definitely be interested in doing. Douglas, let's talk a little bit about the fintech side of this, because it is more, a fintech approach to this business, as you said. What benefits is the company gaining from the interdealer side of the business, being able to offer both sides all under one roof?
Well, look, banks right now want to trade the volatility in Bitcoin and Ethereum and these types of things, but they don't want to take delivery. You don't want to take delivery of a Bitcoin that was mined in, let's say, North Korea. So what they want is derivative products like NDFs, non-deliverable forwards. And we're working with a number of banks to come up with NDFs or non-deliverable forwards that allow them to build a tenor structure, like going out to 1 year, that they can then make into commercial paper so folks can buy Bitcoin without necessarily buying the Bitcoin. So creating derivative instruments, and the big banks, when they start trading in very large volume, and it's going to be a very high ticket item in terms of the brokerage that we'll be charging. So very, very exciting there.
Let's talk about the platform. Everyone obviously very interested in what they can expect as far as the actual tools that the company is going to offer for trading these instruments. Tell the viewers, I guess, what they can expect. I mean, you talked a little bit about Coinbase there, some of the similarities. Tell us a little bit about, what tools will be available for traders.
Well, there's going to be an app that's coming out in end of February, early March, and that's going to allow you to trade cryptocurrency. It's going to look very similar to what the competition have. But around July, August, we'll have another app that comes out that's going to have digital securities on it. And this thing's going to allow you to trade cryptocurrency, digital securities back and forth between the two, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. This has never been done before. You haven't been able to take Bitcoin, switch it into dollars, take the dollars, buy a registered security in the United States, and then trade that over the weekend or of an evening. And our view is that this old game of 9 o'clock or 9:30 until 4 o'clock, it's an old game and it's tired. The only reason it's there, you have these times, is people used to take a horse and cart in from New Jersey to the New York Stock Exchange and horse and cart back home in the evening. That's not the way we trade anymore. People trade cryptocurrency 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. They trade FX 24 hours a day, 5 days a week. Soon you're going to have securities trading that same sort of thing. They're going to trade in the blockchain, and we believe that we're, a market leader in this because we actually came up with the way that they can do it by doing and filing the first ever prospectus with the SEC to allow people to do something like that.
The digital security side of this business, very, very interesting. INXD, guys, on the NEO Exchange here in Toronto as of yesterday. Any plans for maybe a shift to the U.S., in the coming future? And what else can we expect from the company?
Well, I think that the company obviously is interested in cross-listing. We'll certainly look at, we're looking into that, and I think that's going to be exciting, cross-listing, not just in the US, but also in Europe. But at the same time, we're also looking at doing some business in Canada. And to do that, there's, it's a number of exchanges in Canada that we're obviously very interested in. I can't really comment on what we're going to be doing in the future unless it's in the CDAR database or in the EDGAR database, but certainly as a public company in both the US and in Canada, there's a lot of things that we have interest in, a lot of things we're working on, and we'll be excited to tell you when we do a press release. It's
an exciting time for the industry, and we appreciate your time. Douglas Borthwick, Chief Business Officer, INX Digital. Guys, check them out. Ticker on the bottom of the screen there. Brand new on the NEO Exchange as of yesterday. Have a great day.
Thank you very much.
There we go, guys. INX Digital.
24/7.
Yeah, Trader TV Live .24. I need to speak because we can't work that often. So I'm excited. But I think
just grow the team. Just grow the team.
The funny thing is, I actually spoke to our compliance department a couple of years ago about that settlement issue and thought that because we could settle on blockchain, how amazing that would be. It's lightning quick. It's verifiable. So I love that idea, and I didn't even realize that there was talk about it right now. So thanks for bringing that to our attention. Another great guest, and thank you so much, Brendan, for that one. And meanwhile, look at Palantir, a nice little move back to 10. But look at Facebook, guys. $4 now in the money. Go Facebook. As Facebook continues to make some noise here, we take one trade on this one. Now $4. Well, it's $3.80 in the money. Now off of this bid here at $299.80. Boom. We gave that one to you as we took it. It actually went against us a little bit when we took that one, and that's rocking and rolling. And then the Tony, I don't know why I call this the Tony the Tiger trade, but Tony the Tiger right now, $4.70 in the money now for this trade as well. So, and we just put a trade out. We just put a tweet out, actually. Please follow, guys, if you can. I'll put this in the sticky note. First of all, I got a couple messages. You could see people DMing me all the time. A couple more messages today about fake, oops, that didn't work, I don't think, on the tweet. Fake accounts trying to get a hold of you guys. We're not selling any cryptocurrency strategy or anything like that. But here's the sticky note again. And I just want to say, look what we're doing on Palantir, as now we just cashed more out at 11. But you see, all these bids and all these outs. This has been a great day for Palantir. But at the same time, if I go back over to my next post, there still are trades here, and it goes each to their own, man. Here's IBM, $5 in the money on the same kind of thing. So although we scalp a little bit, we're holding for the bigger moves, right? And that's sort of what we talked about here. And it's like, just make the cash wherever you can. Scalp out, do it. We have a $3 winner. Now it's $4 with Facebook and $4 with IBM, but yet pennies here on Palantir. At the end of the day, though, this is all that matters for you guys and for me. So, keep the trades going. Let's get ready to rock and roll. We have 150 fills today, and we are just crushing it with some monster trades on board right now.
Yeah, and finally hopefully going to get a reload in Pinterest, because if I'm playing the weakness, I have to stick to this. And double top here, lower high, obviously. It's not at the high of the day, but double top around VWAP it put in since that flush at 29.25. So I'm going to reload the short there. It looks like, I was about to say, it looks like SoFi was about to break down and give it up. And then it just continues to barcode. I still like that 1280 as a bit of an out, but you can see starting to come back in. The market's made a bit of a top here, so hopefully we can break out. I have one that showed relative strength. So we have a support level that we like in this particular name. It's going to continue to be the one that works. I'm not going to be done with necessarily Lockheed, but I want to see it above that 75 and holding before jumping back into that one. Brendan.
All right, a few minutes to go here, guys. Make sure, first of all, you come back this afternoon as we will discuss some potential earnings plays before the market closes today. But let's get you set for tonight and tomorrow morning before the open. Here comes some earnings.
Well, the big one, obviously, it's going to be Microsoft there. Outside of that, I'll have some interest in Boeing. Although, given the way I saw Lockheed trade today, it might be a disappointment for Boeing. Just seeing the price action in Lockheed tells me a little bit about what we might see there. And then, of course, Texas Instruments is going to be interesting. Let's see that one. I don't see anything else that's going to be too terribly important. It's really all about your Microsoft there and what's going to happen to tech for the rest of the week. And then on top of that, you could put in there Fed as well, because that's clearly the big event tomorrow afternoon.
Yeah, there it is right there. We are out of our Facebook. It looks like it may have been a mistake, but we'll tweet it out anyways just to let you guys know. Who knows if it's going to be a mistake or not, but there it is. 302.56 out off of this 299.70 long. So there it is. We are now out of Facebook right there and tweeted out so all y'all know what we're up to. Palantir, this is the last stand right now for me, man. We come all the way back to the downside now and we get some 96s. So let's see what we want to do. If it does break lower, we down on this break now because we're not going to give back that money, period. So if you break down below, we'll get out of this one. But right now it's kind of just bouncing around. You see the NASDAQ trying to talk about the 50 period. Oh yeah, I added the 50 period right here to us as well on the NASDAQ, the Qs. I got to find out why this doesn't want to load back here. I don't know what's going on right there, but we have more than 50 data points, so that's fine right now on that name. But we're very, very... you know what? Palantir's been sketchy today, man. AMC's been a monster win for us today. DraftKings should have been just as juicy, man. Short. We would have gotten them out. We would have got some out there, 1980, and probably the rest out at VWAP. But unfortunately, the only mistake we have all day today is this DraftKings. We made, actually, an AMD. AMD, we kept trying to chase that as well. But DraftKings right there, that's a mistake. Let's check out where AMD is right now. I say it's a mistake, but realistically, I mean, these bottoms were fine. We just got ticked out a couple times. So AMD continues to be a tough one for me at these levels. It's just a little too violent and a little bit too risky for my blood right now. So AMD, will watch it. Obviously, I'm going to prefer Facebook. You got to go back to the names that you made some money on. So that was a good one. The read on Facebook was pretty good. Not the greatest on AMD. And then IBM, I don't know. I don't really have an out, but we are touching near this level here. If the market's going to fail, man, we don't need to be in any of these names. We've already cashed in a lot here on IBM.
Yeah, and that was pretty quick. I thought maybe at midday we'd get a pullback on Pinterest. We reload, and 2 minutes later, you're already out here at that 28.75, the higher low. And I'm going to continue to hold this position to the short side. And if I can keep reloading off VWAP and then try and see if we can work this channel down, then that's certainly going to work out. But we have 3 minutes to go. Well, 3.5 minutes, I should say. Check that on Tuesday. You know, there's one thing we do before we send you guys to market movers. Somebody's in green as the market tries to hold up. And she's about to tell us what national day it is. Ms. V.
Thank you, Neil, and hey guys, I hope you're having a great trading morning so far. Team, we need just 600 more likes to get to our daily goal, 3,000 likes, and only you can help us. So if you didn't like this video yet, please turn thumbs to the upside and join Prad and me right after to trade this day. And happy National Irish Coffee Day, everyone.
Ooh, Irish coffee.
Yeah, okay.
Not bad. You put a little coffee bean on the top there, some Irish cream. I have hazelnut here, but it's almost done. Our coffee's not that flavored, so I just try to crush this all day, but there it is. Well, we're almost done it, so that's that. I like flavored coffee. It's not my favorite, but Irish coffee. So we could put in some, you know, a little bit of, I don't know, oh, it's not Bailey's. I guess it would be Irish whiskey.
Rod knows what's
up in there. So we like that Irish whiskey in the coffee. Not in mine today.
Yeah, well, I mean, probably not. We don't want to do that in trade, or do we? I don't know. But we certainly, look, obviously, no, we don't want to do that in trade. I think that's a little bit crazy. The market's trying. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know if we're going to get green on the session here, but you are seeing it put in a bit of a bounce. The NASDAQ here, it's still down 2.5%, but we haven't just been, like, we've been going back and forth off this 14,000, and the ES has been back and forth off this 4,300. Nowhere near the velocity of yesterday's move. So yes, we are down. It's just you had the extension and then the pullback, and we were consolidating on the way back up at these same price ranges. So I guess it's not terribly surprising that we're going to be hanging out in this range. I don't want to be forcing anything over lunchtime. Look for those things that are moving. Like that Smile Direct is in play. Like it's actually moving. So I'm going to be looking at that over lunchtime as it looks to try to break out a little bit.
Yeah, so we just got out. So there goes Palantir. Still a very profitable name for us. It's only third on the board, though, for us today. It's going to be IBM, it's going to be Facebook, and it's going to be Palantir. It's going to also be Rivian, which is down to 58.50. We had that on the sticky note of the 60 short. And we got out there because it took out VWAP and then ripped. But look at the 50 period. It stops on that and goes down. Now we're starting to make some moves to the downside. Let's check back on that Facebook out. Yes, sir. Thank you so much for that out, Facebook. We missed the IBM out, but we've already sort of cashed in on IBM. We'll wait to see where it goes. It's bouncing right around the 50 period. This could be a decent reload spot here for IBM. I think we could try it, and then if it fails, man, we just get out here about a little bit lower than this, 131, 38 or so. But right now we're starting to fail in the market. So we're out of Palantir. It's going to be a good one. Eggnog Day. Yeah, Eggnog Day was a good day, man. Thanks for the Playmaker for that one. That was when Arun sat there. I think he drank one. Or, I don't know, I don't remember what that day was, but I was pounding
Some people had more than others. That's all I remember.
Yep. And I think it was only me that had more than one, unless you did. I don't think you did.
Well, no, I board there. Well, actually, I had a little bit more than one, but not a heck of a lot more. Like, I topped it up at one point. Before we get out of here, just noting Pixie on the move, but watch the daily. Big levels on Pixie. This double top at 185. It broke it once, could not get through two. So big levels coming in PIXI, but you know what time it is. It's Trader Pratt and Ms. V time. It's got time to get you guys over to Market Movers, and there's plenty moving today.
Hello, welcome to Market Movers. I'm your host, Trader Pratt. That's the beautiful Miss V.
Thank you, Brad. Hey, guys. Thank you so much for joining us today. I hope you're having a great day so far. Please, as usual, be active on the chat. Ask us anything. And don't forget to smash the like button. All right, Brad, I can see you having a busy morning.
Yeah, let's go with that. I'm having a great day, a really up and down day, but, still alive, almost shut down multiple times, back in the money.